presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Wisconsin.
Well, just 2 days ago, it was site of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Right next door, we're at O.co Coliseum, the home of the Athletics, and we're ready for Game 1 of this brief two-game series, Interleague Baseball, here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Brewers and the A's get it started here tonight. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Oakland. Great to have you with us. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Our reporter this week is Sophia Menner. Let's dive right into the pitching matchup tonight. The Brewers have a guy on the mound that they need to get going once again. He was looking like an ace, Jimmy Nelson, but his last three starts have been subpar.
Yeah, and he really hasn't been himself. I mean, getting behind in the count, his pitches really haven't had the command that he had throughout most of the season, in all honesty. He's only won one game since the beginning of May, and that's not all his fault. But the last three starts have not gone all that well for him. You can see 0-3, earned run average near 10, and the strikeouts are down, the walks are up a little bit. He needs to get going. This offense for the A's is one that you can really handle if you make your pitches. Hopefully he's going to be able to do that here tonight.
Well, Jimmy Nelson is the closest thing to the Brewers have as an ace. He's hoping to pitch like one here tonight against Sonny Gray, Bob Melvin, Craig Counsell, the Athletics, and the Milwaukee Brewers. It's Game 1 of this brief two-game series from Oakland. It's coming up next. Clear night. It's a great night for the grand old game this evening. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Well, Craig Counsell has not been here since the 2005 season. That goes for a lot of these Brewers. Been a long time since many of these players have played in this venue. The Brewers have not been here since 2002, as a matter of fact. Counsell played here as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. There is Sonny Gray leading the Athletics onto the field. And the A's are hoping, just like the Brewers are hoping for their starter, that he can get back on track here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Craig Counsell that'll face Sonny Gray. It is brought to you by Potawatomi. And note the DH is in play tonight. So it goes VR, Jeanette, and Braun at the top of the order. Jonathan Lucroy is the designated hitter. He's followed by Chris Carter and then Aaron Hill. And the bottom three, Kirk Neuenhuis, Martin Maldonado does the catching, and Ramon Flores will bat ninth. And Sonny Gray, his 13th start of the year, an all-star last year, Rock, and back-to-back 14-win seasons for the Athletics.
Yeah, making his third start since returning from the disabled list, a trapezius injury. That's in the back of the shoulder, and just trying to get back into form. I mean, he's been a good one for the A's over his short career. Fourth year for him. He's 7th on the A's all-time earned run average list at 320. Even with that big earned run average that he's posting this year at about 5.5. Let's check out the Menards defense for the A's here tonight. They're dead last in the American League. They've committed a league-high 48 errors. You got Davis, Crisp, and Muncy in the outfield. Danny Valencia, you got Marcus Simeon, Jed Lowry, and Yonder Alonso from third to first. Stephen Vogt behind home plate. You can see Coco Crisp making start number 16 in center field.
They see the four-man umpiring crew in place. Alan Porter will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Jeff Kellogg having a chat with Carlos Subero. John Tumpain is the second base umpire, and Paul Nart over at third. First time here in a long time. For more on that, we check in with the third member of our team, Sophia Minard.
That's right, B.A. Of Aaron Hill, the last time he was here, it was 2011. He was with the Blue Jays. Said he did not come here with the Diamondbacks. So he said in terms of the outfielders, there's a little bit more familiarity. He said for the infielders, of course, it's dealing with all of the extra room you have in the foul territory. So he said for himself, it was the first time he'd be playing at third base here in Oakland. So he was curious. He said it's more than anything, just getting out there, getting a feel for your surroundings, and hope they can make the plays when needed. All
right, thanks, Sophia. A lot of early work today before the game for the crew. First pitch of the ball game from Sonny Gray in there for a strike, and away we go. Jonathan Villar batting lead off, hitting .297. Had a couple of hits in that two-game sweep of the A's just a few weeks ago in Milwaukee. Villar with 6 homers now, 29 runs batted in. He homered the last and only time the Brewers have won on this road trip. That was the first game of the series in Los Angeles Thursday. Brewers are 1-6 on this road trip. Doesn't feel that way. I think that's the frustrating part for Craig Counsell and company, is that they're in every game, it seems, but just unable to either get the big hit or make the big pitch, and they find themselves with just one win so far.
Yeah, they had leads in the 8th inning in Los Angeles a couple of different times, not able to hold it, so they feel like they could have 3 or 4 wins on this trip, and that's not the case.
Villar breaks his bat, little roller over to first base. Yonder Alonso makes a nice play, and that's how the day begins here at the Coliseum. So Villar retired. Sonny Gray, as Rock mentioned, coming back from the injury behind his shoulder, the trapezius, and it looked like last time out, Rock, watching the tape, he was pitching well. He looked like his old self. Maybe ran out of gas though against the Texas Rangers once he got to the 5th inning.
Yeah, he was throwing the baseball pretty well, but again, fatigue, you would imagine, is going to be an issue for him. You can see what he's been able to do. As you mentioned, B.A. said 14 wins in consecutive seasons for him. You can see always low earned run averages except for this year. It was May that was the culprit for him, an earned run average of about 9.5 in May.
Scooter Gennett on the first pitch, a pop-up towards third, and that is Valencia, the former Twin. And 2 up and 2 down here in this first inning.
Gray's basically a 4-pitch pitcher.
2 quick outs for Sonny Gray. That'll bring up Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun was chiming in on the surroundings, the ballpark today. He has never played here. He's never even been inside the Coliseum here in Oakland. And he was one of those players that spent a little extra time, a little bit out of the ordinary, where he's taking fly balls in the outfield, the significant foul territory, dealing with the pitcher's mound, the bullpen mound that's out in play. And so he was spending a little extra time more than he normally would before the game today defensively.
Yeah, and that's pretty typical of players that have never been in a ballpark before. But even more important, you never give up on a foul ball here, because there is so much foul territory. The bullpens are in play. Kind of a unique ballpark in that regard, where so much foul territory, the fans aren't very close to the field.
Now, Braun did say he really enjoys the aesthetics of it. I think a lot of hitters appreciate the batter's eye here. It's a dark green. They can see the baseball fairly well with the front of the stands, and they bring those seats out for football, of course, put in the temporary seating. But he said he likes it. Said the infield is really fast. He's playing like an AstroTurf infield to some extent.
Sun bakes it on a daily basis, and it used to be even a better pitcher's ballpark, you know, with all the foul territory. You get a lot of foul outs that you wouldn't get in normal ballparks, but it's been neutralized a little bit with that big monstrosity in center field that Al Davis put up. They call it Mount Davis for football.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Braun. And down he goes. So Sonny Gray's a 1-2-3 start with a strikeout. We're off and running in Oakland. A's are coming up. Order 1-2-3 against Sonny Gray. Now Jimmy Nelson on the mound against Bob Melvin's Athletics. They're in a tough bit right now. They've lost 12 of their last 15 games, and they come in at a season low 28-41, 13 under 500. Potawatomi batting order: Coco Crisp, Jed Lowry, Stephen Vogt at the top, Danny Valencia, Chris Davis, the former Brewer, and Billy Butler in the middle of the order. Yonder Alonso, Marcus Semien, and Max Muncy will round out the starting 9 against Jimmy Nelson, start number 15 tonight.
He's having a rough June. He's 0-3, earned run average over 9.5, and certainly needs a turnaround. It's beginning. Early strikes has been an issue for Jimmy this month. You see his numbers. He's only got 8 strikeouts in 4 starts this month. His first ever start against the A's.
Nelson facing Coco Crisp to start it. The A's are really struggling to score runs right now. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, and they've only scored 5 runs in the last 4 games. They were shut out Sunday against the Angels. Twice shut out in the last 11 days for Bob Melvin's team. And so Jimmy Nelson is hoping that trend continues. Now, the A's did have yesterday off, as did the Brewers. 2 teams coming off team off days, as Nelson misses badly. Boy, just that reaction by Nelson is not good. Like, he can't find the release point this early in the game.
And now comes Maldonado, who's getting a start out there tonight with the designated hitter. Great Council is electing to use Lucroy as the DH.
A quick trip to the mound already, and you can almost sense a little bit of anxiety setting in here with Jimmy Nelson. His command has been such an issue the last 3 games.
Yeah, and all of his pitches, and none of the 3 pitches that he's thrown here have been anywhere close.
3 balls, no strikes. I'm sure Coco Crisp is on his toes in the batter's box. That one's in there for strike 1. Crisp, a switch hitter. Did not have a hit in that series in Milwaukee. Brewers won back-to-back games. They got great pitching performances in that series from Zach Davies and Chase Anderson as Crisp goes down the line, foul, just hooked over it. And the count will go to 3-2. You might remember that series in Milwaukee. That was the 2 games where Davies and then Anderson both had no hitters going deep into the game. 7th inning, as a matter of fact. 6 no-hit innings for each.
Yeah, Chase Anderson's start, the Brewers shut out Oakland.
There is news on Chase Anderson as well. We'll get to Sophia with more on that in a little bit. Brewers have all these off days now. They had one yesterday. They have another one coming up Thursday. So a little bit unusual to have an off day, play 2 games, then have another off day.
And then another off day on Monday.
Full count to Crisp. And Nelson misses low. Wow, pretty good pitch. Didn't get the call. Crisp is on with a walk. And how about the Oakland A's, or rather the Brewers defensively, Rock?
Yeah, brought to you by Menards. We already talked about Maldonado getting a start behind home plate with the DH. Lucroy is going to do that. You got Braun, Neuenhuis, Flores in the outfield. You got Hill, VR, Jeanette, and Carter from 3rd to 1st. And once again, Jimmy Nelson out there in the mound. He could use a good start here tonight.
Martin Maldonado gets the call behind the plate. Back-to-back starts for him as the catcher. Jonathan Lucroy is being used as the DH this evening. Here's Jed Lowry now with a man on. Another switch hitter. Today the A's with 3 lefties and 2 switch hitters in their batting order. Nelson's last start right here in the Bay Area, just across the bay in San Francisco. He gave up 8 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Was his worst start of the year. And he just couldn't find the strike zone. Ended up getting behind in just about every significant count. And then had to come in there, and the Giants made him pay. He matched up against Johnny Cueto that day.
And that's just the thing. I mean, there was only 3 walks in the game, but all the pitches that he had thrown down the middle because he was down in the count 2-0, 3-1 quite a bit. 3 2/3, he threw 85 pitches, so that's a lot of pitches. No, into the 4th inning.
Has 3 straight losses. The Phillies, the Mets, and the Giants. Phillies and the Giants were both road games. And pitches this opener of this 2-gamer here tonight. 3-1 the count. Back-to-back 3-ball counts for Jimmy Nelson. Nelson is drawing Maldonado once again behind the plate. Martin caught him last time out. Runner goes on a 3-1, and Lowry fouls it away. Interesting.
Yeah, not a bad pitch to run on. You figure it's going to be a strike. Hitter's going to protect him with contact, and out of the strike zone is just a walk. And you figure he's going to be running on the 3-2 pitch.
So that'll fill the count. And we'll keep an eye on Coco Crisp, see if he's going to be on the move for the Athletics. Only has 5 steals this year. Is Lowry in the air foul?
Yeah, 5 steals, and he's been caught 4 times, so not a very good percentage. He ran on the 3-1 pitch, but not on the 3-2 pitch.
And there he goes. And Lowry fouls another one away. See, Nelson's fastball is down a tick on average. I think a lot of that has to do with Jimmy just trying to command the ball a little bit better. You know, when he's right, when he's free and easy, he's throwing that fastball 94, 95 miles an hour, and then he can get to 97 if he needs to. But we really haven't seen that during this stretch. If he typically sits with that two-seam fastball, he's been in the low 90s.
Well, pitchers will go through stretches where they just don't feel like they have zip on their fastball, and maybe that's where Jimmy is right now.
There's a curveball hit on the ground to Jeanette, and he'll go to Villar, across the diamond in time, and a double play, just what Nelson needed. And a good curveball to get Lowry out in front. It goes 4-6-3.
Hey, good job to continue to throw strikes. He fell behind 3-1. And threw 4 consecutive pitches for strikes, and that breaking pitch able to get him on the ground to turn a double play. Took 8 pitches, but they were able to turn the double play.
You know, it's early. It's the first inning, but that could be a big play in this game for Nelson. He's laboring a little bit early. Back-to-back 3-2 counts, but he's able to get 2 outs. Now he's back in the windup for Stephen Vogt, all-star catcher from a year ago for the Athletics.
And there's your 94 right there. So maybe, you know, getting loose. It's good weather to pitch here tonight. Not overly hot. It's the upper 60s. Far cry from what the Brewers are dealing with in Los Angeles.
Boy, that was a hot afternoon in LA Sunday. Players are still talking about that today. 99 degrees at Dodger Stadium Sunday afternoon. It was extremely hot. Players had to take extra precaution. Matt Garza pitched very well in that game. Unfortunately, the Brewers lost. On the ground, the shift is on, but Vogt drives one through that shift, and he is aboard with a 2-out single for the A's.
And Maldonado's setting up on the outside corner. See the way he reaches over the plate to grab it, so not good command by Jimmy on that pitch, and that's why Vogt was able to get a good swing at it. Pretty much right down the middle.
So it'll be Danny Valencia now. Another Athletics player who spent time on the disabled list. He came off on May 6th. They've had a lot of injury problems here in Oakland. Good block back there by Maldonado. Former Blue Jay, came to the A's from Toronto.
That started with the Twins, Danny Valencia.
Had some minor elbow surgery before spring training this year. Also had a foot procedure recently. Now Valencia had 11 home runs last year. Big power. A's lost Josh Reddick. That's a significant loss for them. Their 3-hole hitter. Valencia spent a little time in the 3-hole in the absence of Reddick. 2 balls and a strike. 2 men are out. Got a runner at first. Just underway from Oakland. This West Coast trip continues for the Brewers. It's been a long haul out here out west.
I think everybody's ready to get back to Miller Park.
That'll be Friday night. The Washington Nationals in town. Bryce Harper and the Nationals.
Got to take care of business first, though. You got a couple of games to play, and you're playing a team that's been down on their luck somewhat. Of course, the Brewers could say the same, but it doesn't get very easy once you get home.
2-2 to Valencia. On the ground, up the middle. Jeanette ranges over. Long throw, no chance. And that's going to be an infield hit. Back-to-back singles for the A's. Valencia just put the ball in play, and he reaches.
Yeah, no chance for Jeanette. I mean, he grabbed it, but there's no way he can get enough on the throw to get Valencia getting down that line. You can see no chance, not with the momentum going away from first base like that. You know, VR was shaded in the hole.
So 2 on. There's been a walk and 2 hits in this inning. That double play is standing up big for Jimmy Nelson. And here is Chris Davis, former Brewer. Didn't see him on the field. He had a pinch hit appearance, but Davis at that time in Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago was dealing with an elbow injury. Got hit by a pitch the weekend prior. And you see that brace he's wearing on his left elbow. Had a nice little run with the Brewers. Big power threat. The Brewers felt like they could give up some of that depth in the outfield with the rebuild this year. And they got a terrific young catcher in Nottingham and a pitcher, Derby, both in the Brewers minor league system. And Davis is thriving here when he's been in the lineup. 16 home runs, 45 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's he's always been one of those guys that gets real hot and cold. You just hope you catch him when he's not swinging the bat all that well. But when he's hot, I mean, he can hit home runs in bunches. Strings them together.
Now, right now, Davis is inside the top 10 in the American League in homers. Just outside the top 10 in the AL in RBIs. 0-2 pitch. And a little half swing. Did he go? He did not. Able to check it. What's interesting about Davis's home run totals, he did not homer in his first 13 games of the season. A's were wondering if they got a dud in that trade. And then Davis just caught fire.
That's what he does.
We could have told him that.
Yeah. Don't panic. He'll get hot. And once he started playing every day with the Brewers, I mean, he really caught fire, started to swing the bat, led the team in home runs last year. And you got to take the good with the bad with Chris Davis.
He did have a signature moment early for the A's that kind of got A's fans back in his corner. Had a 3 home run game against the Rangers that included a walk-off grand slam. That was back on May 17th. He's up there with 2 outs. It's Nelson misses. 2-2. Boy, he is really laboring.
Yeah, just really can't find his command. And that's pretty much been the issue with Jimmy. Well, last 3 starts not being able to throw enough strikes.
He's going to have at least a 30-pitch inning, and that's with a double play in the inning. Runner at second is Vogt, reached on a single with 2 outs. Valencia an infield single. He's at first. And Davis takes ball 3. Full count.
That didn't miss by much, did it?
Yeah, but like you always say, when you're all over the place, it's hard to get those calls, those borderline pitches.
Yeah, bump's not going to help you.
Runners will take off. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled away. Count stays at 3-2. Davis has been bothered by a little calf injury here lately. Had to leave a game on Saturday. But the off day helps. Back in the lineup today. Another full count to an A's hitter. It's the 3rd full count Nelson has had already. First 5 batters of the game. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Davis comes right out of his helmet. Inning is over, but that was a lot of work for Jimmy Nelson early.
This Friday, the Brewers kick off their weekend series against the Nationals with another free shirt Friday. All fans at Miller Park for the series opener will get a free camo ball and glove T-shirt courtesy of Hupie and Abraham.
That might be my favorite free T-shirt that we've had.
Yeah, you said that, haven't you? You like that?
I'm gonna have
camo.
to score a couple of those.
You think?
Remind me.
Those are nice.
I'll take yours. I'll dry it. Jonathan Lucroy leads off for the Brewers, the designated hitter.
Gonna shrink it a little bit.
Gonna need to. I don't know. After this road trip, we've been in some pretty good dining cities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Belt's coming out a notch.
San Francisco, right? A lot of seafood, though. I don't know about you, but you know, pounding the crab and the shrimp.
A lot of sushi.
Yeah. That's all good for you, isn't it?
I think so. A lot of mercury. If you're good with mercury.
Good with it.
2-0 on Lucroy. Sonny Gray back to work. That was a long inning. The A's come up empty. But Jimmy Nelson throwing a bunch of pitches, going over 30. Meanwhile, Sonny Gray, a 10-pitch first inning, retired the side in order with a strikeout. There's a strike to Lucroy. There was some talk about Lucroy playing first and Chris Carter being the DH here in this game, but I think Craig Counsell wants to try to get Lucroy off his feet as much as possible. Utilized the day off yesterday as Lucroy draws the walk, so he's on to start it. And that will bring Chris Carter to the plate, the former A. And for more on that, we check in with Sophia. What do you have, Sophia?
Well, the Coliseum has great memories for Chris Carter. He made his debut here in 2010, was with them for 3 seasons through 2012, had his first hit and his first home run against the White Sox, the team that drafted him. And we talk about Chris Carter's power all the time, so I asked him, what's the furthest home run you hit here? He told me just to the right of that Kelly Moore paint sign in batting practice. So Carter, he said he's got great memories here. It's always great to come back. Grew up in Redwood City, just about 30 miles away.
Very good. Very good. Carter brings one foul.
That went out in center field.
Yeah,
wow.
that is an impressive blast, to say the least. That's, what, 6 stories up at the 400-foot mark. Dead center field. That is way up there, man.
Yeah.
That's a good question, too, because every hitter will remember the furthest that he's hit one.
Right. When I played here, that thing wasn't out there.
Nope, that was Al Davis of the Raiders who installed that. And the A's put the tarps on it. It's available for baseball. They don't, even in the playoffs, they didn't get to the point where they could take the tarps off. So it basically is just an unoccupied upper deck. I've done a Raiders game here, though, and it's been full. That's on the sideline. Carter takes one down and away.
That thing was out there in my first year as a broadcaster, 1995.
Is that right?
Brewers in the American League.
Yeah, this ballpark has been around since the 60s. It's definitely got its challenges, but there are some very good memories here. There have been a lot of really interesting moments in sports history in this venue. And of course, Al Davis's Raiders and some of their great teams, and the Oakland A's. You see their championships back in the 70s. They were a powerhouse in the 70s. 3 in a row, and then back in 1989.
89 and 90, they were winning over 100 games. I was with the Angels back in those days. We were in the same division, and as good as we were in California with the Angels, just couldn't touch the A's. They were winning too much. The Bash brothers, Canseco and McGuire, Carney Lansford, what kind of pitching staff remember they had?
Right. Dave Stewart, current general manager of the Diamondbacks.
Eckersley was the closer. And they were good.
Full count to Carter. Got a man at first to start the inning. And Carter down on strikes. Sonny Gray with his second K and the first out of the inning. Speaking of a little history here in Oakland, you realize on this date, 1989, it was a June trade, and the A's got Ricky Henderson back from the Yankees. Eric Plunk, Greg Cadaret, Luis Polonia, good names there. Yeah, Ricky came back to Oakland. His number is retired with the Athletics. Aaron Hill rings one into left field, a base hit. On the first pitch, he jumps on it, and a single to left, 2 on for the Brewers.
It's not a bad plan to attack this guy early, Sonny Gray. He's got 4 pitches that he's pretty confident in throwing. Basically, fastball, curveball, slider. He will mix up changeups once in a while to lefties, but this first pitch fastball up in the strike zone, and we've seen Aaron Hill all season long be able to handle that high pitch and hits it hard into left field. Good high ball hitter.
Here's Kirk Neuenhuis now with 2 on, 1 away. Brewers threatened in the second inning. Gray retired him in order in the first. And Neuenhuis takes a strike. Quite a different scene here in Oakland than it was 2 days ago, just across the street at Oracle Arena, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And the place was jumping. It was a disappointing end for the local fans, though, as the Cleveland Cavaliers win their first championship in over 5 decades. That was a thriller. Congratulations to our friends in Cleveland.
Yeah. Even people over in San Francisco would be bummed out on Sunday night, right?
Oh, yeah,
walking around. And
certainly the Bay Area's team. Matter of fact, the Warriors are going to be moving to San Francisco. They've got a new arena in progress right now. I think for the 19th season is when the new arena is coming open, but that's one of the great NBA venues in the NBA. It is as loud as any I've ever been in. They call it Roracle Arena. 2 balls and a strike on Neuenhuis. You might remember for Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Draymond Green was suspended, so he couldn't be at the arena, but he wanted to be close enough to his teammates. So what he did, he came over here, watched the game at the Coliseum, watched the A's play that night. Watched them play the Rangers. Sat up in the suite with Marshawn Lynch.
yeah, Golden State was sitting pretty, right? A 3-1 lead. Wow. Lost 3 in a row.
Lost 3 in a row.
Have they done that all season?
Not all year. They'd hardly lost 2 in a row all year. Two to Neuenhuis. Brewers trying to strike here in the second inning against Sonny Gray. And a swing and a miss. Gray strikes him out.
He's got a good slider going tonight, does Sonny Gray. Left-handers, right-handers. Just struck Carter out on a slider and just got Neuenhuis on one down and in.
And catching, number 12, Martin Maldonado.
2 outs for Gray. Here's Martin Maldonado now. And strike 1 to Maldonado. He's gotten a little more playing time here recently. Started the final game against the Giants last week. Game 3 of that series. Lucroy played that game. He started at first base, which opened the door for Maldonado behind the plate. And then he got a start on Sunday. Gets a start here tonight with Lucroy as the DH.
Well, you take any opportunity you can to get Lucroy, as you mentioned, off of his feet, but still keep his bat in the lineup. Good idea. Lucroy will probably catch tomorrow and then have a team day off on Thursday. Plus, I would imagine that Craig Counsell wants to have Lucroy in all 3 of those games against the Nationals. Going to need all the offense you can muster against that group.
Very curious to see what the Nationals do with their pitching. Steven Strasburg was supposed to pitch last night. Did not make that start. And I wonder if he's going to pitch against Milwaukee in a 3-game series. Not quite lined up yet against the Nationals officially. 1-2 the count of Maldonado in the dirt. Nice block back there by Vogt. Keeps it in front, keeps the runners at first and second.
Yeah, good fundamentally behind home plate. You have to be catching in the big leagues, and that's about as good as it gets. Keeping it close. A nice soft body. Don't stiffen up. Kind of try and soften everything up as much as you can so the ball just drop right in front of you.
Two and two to the Brewer catcher. Trying to get a couple of runners on the move in the second inning. Outside a ball. Maldonado with a good take.
Yeah, it was. Tough pitch to lay off of that slider.
So Maldonado in a 3-2 count. It's going to give the runners a head start.
Maldonado hadn't seen a fastball yet.
Getting the ultimate respect from Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Full count, 2 outs. Runners go. Maldonado strikes out. Got a breaking ball. Down he goes. So a promising inning for the Brewers comes up 0s for Sonny Gray.
And the A's as we head to the bottom of the second here. Some news today regarding the Brewers starting rotation. Craig Counsell saying that with the 3 off days over a span of 8 days, they have decided to skip Chase Anderson in his next start. So he will get 9 days rest. He will make his next start on June 28th. And Anderson is in just his 3rd major league season. So he said that the way the schedule played out, when you have the opportunity to give a young pitcher a break, you certainly take that. They're hopeful that they can get the rest of the starters a break using the All-Star break. So for the weekend series, it will be Davies, Garza, Nelson, and again, Anderson will rejoin the rotation on the 28th.
All right, Sophia, thanks. And you see the man sitting next to Chase Anderson. That was another move the Brewers made today as Jimmy Nelson faces Billy Butler to start this inning. Hernan Perez was placed on paternity leave. So we wish Hernan the best. He's heading back to Chicago to be with his wife. Yadiel Rivera will be on the active roster the next couple of days, Rock, and not sure how much playing time he'll get, but he'll be available off the bench. Slick fielding infielder has been down in AAA Colorado Springs.
Yeah, plays anywhere, and you know, Perez, the only extra infielder on the bench. Actually, he's been playing some outfield as well, so you got to bring up an infielder.
Big chopper over to third. Billy Butler is retired, one away here in the second inning.
Hey, it's a weekend showdown between the Brewers and the Nats as Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals come to Miller Park this Friday through Sunday. Check out the complete lineup of weekend promotions, including the team's annual Negro League tribute game and Kids Eat Free Sunday at brewers.com/promotions. Good weekend coming up, the red hot Washington Nationals.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And getting back to Miller Park. Hope you'll make plans to join us. Got to come out and watch a little baseball, see one of the best teams in the big leagues.
Actually, the Nationals have lost 3 straight before today.
They still lead their division by 5.5. So they have a showdown series with the Mets coming up after their series with the Brewers.
Yep, they're at Los Angeles playing the Dodgers right now.
Division leaders in the National League are the Nationals, up 5.5. The Cubs are up 11.5, and the Giants have now taken a 5.5 game lead as well. Giants won earlier today, beating the Pirates. Yonder Alonso with a pop-up into foul territory for out number 2.
They're going to test the range of Aaron Hill and Chris Carter in this series. How far can they go into foul ground to catch pop-ups? A lot of room to cover.
Yeah, Carter's familiar over there. It was interesting, Aaron telling Sophia he's played here a few times, but never third base here, so can't give up on him. Those foul balls that look like will routinely go into the seats are playable here in this venue.
What do you think, 30 feet in foul ground?
Oh, man, yeah.
More than that?
Sure, maybe more. From that back corner of the camera well to the base, just a lot of room to cover. That does buy the pitcher a lot of extra outs.
And it used to be tough to hit balls out of here, especially at night. The winds would normally blow in from left and center. But, you know, the football stands out there in center field block that wind, so it's more of a hitter's ballpark. Wind doesn't have much effect on the baseball right now. It's a good windshield out there. Takes away a lot of the winds that would blow in.
2 outs in the inning, 2-1 to Simeon, the shortstop, and he's hacking away. 2-2 the count. Brewers will play a day game tomorrow to wrap up the series. A 2-2 home-and-home interleague matchup with Oakland. And the Brewers won both of those games in Milwaukee and played really well in that series. They hit well, played excellent defensively. They got great pitching from Davies and Anderson. So maybe the A's will be the cure for the Brewers on this road trip. 2-2 on the way is a curveball hung up there, and that's going to get by Hill. Simeon will reach. Hill was there. Looks like the ball took a hop he was not expecting. He's been great defensively this year at third base, but couldn't quite handle that one.
Yeah, you really come to expect Aaron Hill to make these plays right here, but that hop stayed down on him, a little bit surprised him. He does that a lot. He gets down low to get his eyes at the level of the bounce and just couldn't grab it this time. That's a base hit. It is a very fast infield here in Oakland.
So the 9-hole hitter, Max Muncy, the right fielder, is at the plate. Muncy coming off a series against the Angels where he was 1 for 6. The Brewers didn't see him in Milwaukee. He was in AAA. Called him up right after that series, as a matter of fact. This is his second stint with Oakland. And overall, he's 2 for 14. Does have 2 doubles, though. His 2 hits are for extra bases. And making his 6th start in the big leagues in right field. First time he's ever appeared in the major leagues as an outfielder. Muncy was the hitter that broke up Colby Lewis's no-hit bid against the Rangers last week on Thursday. Had a 9th inning double to lead off the inning.
Man, you certainly ought to walk this guy and have Coco Crisp come up there. Not often you see a right fielder batting 9th. Usually your right fielder, your left fielder, those are RBI run producing spots in the lineup.
That hold left by Josh Reddick. The A's are still trying to find the right combo out there. Muncy is more of a utility man. Bob Melvin can use him at third base if need be. Played some third base in AAA, right field. Three-one pitch. Out to Jeanette. Back in the grass. And he's got him to end the inning. So Nelson with a scoreless second. And we are scoreless after 2. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. The Golden Gate Bridge. Back in the Bay Area, the Brewers, after a trip to Southern California to face the Dodgers, now across the bay in Oakland. Sonny Gray, 2 scoreless innings. He struck out the side last inning in around 2 base runners, gave up a walk and a single, and has 4 strikeouts already. Ramon Flores leads off for the Crew, hitting in the 9 spot. Flores, VR, Jeanette due up for the Brew Crew. And Flores hits one sharply to left, a base hit. Tell you, his bat's starting to come alive after that dreadful start. He's just a young player trying to find his way in the major leagues, and Rock, every day he looks more and more comfortable.
He's having a 350 road trip coming into this game, 6 for 17. Now 7 for 18, hitting over 350 on the trip. So yeah, he's really starting to swing the bat well. He's getting some consistent playing time. That has a lot to do with it.
Flores back in right field tonight. Domingo Santana continues on the disabled list with an elbow injury. the starting right fielder. Here's VR, first ball swinging, a chopper out to second. They get the out at second. So a force play for out number 1, and the speedy VR is aboard. Fielder's choice. And we'll see if VR is going to be there long. He is the Major League's top base stealer coming into play tonight. Scooter Gennett with 1 away. He popped up on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Little pop up to third.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt about a 20% thrower behind home plate, 6 for 29. So decent throwing arm. It's just a matter of whether Sonny Gray is going to give him a chance to throw him out. Got to get a good jump.
Well, Scooter Gennett thought he had a decisive home run in the first inning against Los Angeles. Brewers could not make that stand up. They had some opportunities to score. Gennett hit his 6th home run of the year. And I think what was most impressive, even though it was a hot afternoon, it was an opposite field home run for Gennett. And he hits that one sharply right at the shortstop, Simeon. Easy double play to end the inning. VR, a base running blunder, and a 3-batter inning for Sonny Gray.
The Brewers and the A's in the third. And this weekend, June 24th through June 26th, the Brewers Community Foundation will feature the second round of its Drive for Charity. Fans can please bring a contribution of $5 or a full-size toiletry item to Miller Park this weekend to support the local community. For your efforts, they'll provide you with a one-of-a-kind pin featuring Brewers reliever Jeremy Jeffress.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Here we go to the Oakland half of inning number 3. Back to the top of their order they go. Nelson has 2 scoreless on the board, although he's given up 3 hits. 2 of the hits are infield hits. Had a very long first inning, over 30 pitches in the first inning, but he was able to get out of the mess, had a double play ball, and then he struck out Chris Davis, the former Brewer, with 2 on. .6'6" right-hander out of Niceville, Florida. Jimmy Nelson played his college ball at Alabama. In the air, right field, pretty well hit. Back is Flores. He's got it for the out.
Sounded good, didn't it?
Sure did. But it died in that Bay Area atmosphere.
Stayed right on it. A fastball from Nelson on a 2-0 count, right down the middle, and Coco Crisp gives it a pretty good ride, but an easy out for Ramon Flores. Once again, Jimmy getting behind in the count.
So 1 away. Here comes Jed Lowry now. Fouling out of play. Lowry in a 1-1 count. Last year the A's lost 94 games. It was their worst year in the Billy Beane era. Their general manager Bob Melvin endured a very tough season. Very similar to the Brewers. Matter of fact, the A's picked 1 pick behind Milwaukee in this past draft. Brewers picked 5th. The A's picked 6th. All 5 of their starters coming out of spring training have spent time on the disabled list, and they got some bad news again today. Henderson Alvarez, who was supposed to be in his final minor league rehab start, they had to shut him down, so he's had a shoulder injury. And another setback for Henderson Alvarez. That was one of the big pieces they were counting on. In the air to left, hit well. Braun's going back. And he's out of room. That is off the wall. Takes a big bounce off that wall. And Lowry settles for a double.
All right, that one carried, didn't it? Well, the one that Coco Crisp hit the right didn't carry all that much. Well, that one had some pretty good carry to it, right off the wall. And you know, Ryan Braun played it pretty well, but still got too close to the wall, and it got by him. That's good play by Nieuwenhuis to keep Lowry at second base. If Nieuwenhuis isn't there backing that up, he's going to get a triple. Watch Braun. He gets too close, doesn't back up enough, and Nieuwenhuis has to run it down. Otherwise, that would have been a triple.
That's good work by Nieuwenhuis. That's a long way to go. These outfielders helping each other out in unfamiliar territory. So it's a one-out double. First extra base hit of the day for Oakland. And that brings up Stephen Vogt, who takes strike one from Nelson.
Don't you love that helmet? That's a catcher's helmet right there.
all the junk on the helmet. No batting gloves, though.
Pine tar everywhere. And you know, they can get that stuff off of there. I mean, after the game, I'm sure the clubhouse staff says, you want me to clean it up? Nope, leave it alone. I don't want you touching it.
He's got good balance just the way it is. He's a good player. Had a little elbow surgery, minor elbow surgery before spring training. All-star last year. Had a huge first half last year. Struggled in the second half, though. Going into the All-Star break last year, he was hitting .308, had 13 homers and 53 driven in. And then he finished the second half hitting just .214 the rest of the year. And many around here wondering if he wore down last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 man out. And Vogt swings and fouls it back.
Slider didn't do much that time, and Vogt had a good one to hit. Missed it. Actually, changeup. That was a changeup, not a slider. Yeah, think about Vogt. Last year was the first day he really played every day. And that can take its toll until you kind of learn how to do that and learn how to pace yourself. Yeah, the year before he caught 84 games. Last year 136. Makes a difference.
Yeah, big difference. And when you're on a struggling team as well, that can have an effect. Think about what a catcher does, and not just the physical challenges, but you know, it's one thing if you're catching an accomplished starting rotation and you're having a lot of success each night. When you're not, and you're trying to wrestle your way through starts with your pitchers, that weighs on a catcher, at least a good catcher. A catcher that pays attention to his pitching staff as Nelson misses and Maldonado wants a quick visit.
Yeah, mentally always grinding, right? I mean, you're grinding behind home plate because you're trying to figure out ways to get pitchers through games. You're grinding at the plate. So yeah, really no room to relax.
Well, he'll take his walks. He's got a very good eye. Last year he led the A's in walks, led them in on-base percentage. And led him in dry cleaning charges as well. 2-2 the count. Runner at second, Lowry. He doubled. One man out. In the air to right. Coming in, Flores. He's got it. And retreating is Lowry. Hit it on a line, but Vogt is retired. Second out of the inning. Jimmy did have him out in front. Carsoup.com trivia. Who is the last Brewers pitcher to record a win in Oakland? Interesting. Now, the Brewers haven't been in Oakland since 2002, so you know we're going back a ways.
It wasn't then because the Brewers got swept.
So there's a couple of hints for you. Two outs for Valencia. Valencia now with his sixth team. He has bounced around quite a bit. Valencia's got the batting style, batting stance of one of those home run derby softball hitters. You know, the way he like winds it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a full.
That doesn't work too well
up
in the big leagues. That works for softball.
He kind of leans out on the front foot, and it's a big leg kick. Ouch. Oh, my goodness. Right on the hand. Nelson comes up and in and drills Valencia.
There's a big high leg kick. The bat comes down, starts for it, gets him in the wrist. And he wasn't too happy about it.
Again, not that he can change at this point of his career, but you know, we used to talk about this a lot last year with Carlos Gomez. Some hitters have the ability to turn their lead shoulder in to take it in the back, the shoulder. And then a lot of guys, like Gomez is one of them. Gene Segura was another that would open up because they're diving and all that motion that goes into a swing. And you run the risk of this when you swing this way.
Right. A lot going on, a lot of motion. Bottom half, hands are moving, and you really expose those hands on a pitch inside like that, as opposed to, you know, a lot of hitters, as you're talking about, they bring that front shoulder in. You can see the way he's opened up right away and gets that wrist.
Wow, that was a great shot of the impact on that left wrist of Valencia. I mean, you think about the way Jonathan Lucroy or Ryan Braun, when they get hit by pitches, they're usually back of the arm, tricep, in the back. just because of the way their swing is. Not saying it's right or wrong, but you're always going to run more risk of injury when you do it the way Valencia does. But that's the way he has to hit to be successful, so that's the risk you take. So it is 2 men on now for Nelson. And that pitch count continues to rise, Rock. He's going to throw at least 69 through the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
And he's got Chris Davis up there with 2 men on base.
Yeah, and that's where he was in his last start. Remember, we mentioned he was over 80 pitches in 3 2/3 against the Giants. He's heading in that direction here tonight.
Now, the 2 players that were traded to the Brewers for Davis, a couple of prospects. Bubba Derby is in single A. He's at the high A level with Brevard County in the Florida State League. And he's pitching well. He's a starter, has 13 starts. He's 5-4, an ERA at 3.9. Got a lot of strikeouts this season. On the ground to third, fair ball, and Aaron Hill will step on the bag to end the inning. That was close, but Hill keeps it fair. Nelson gets through the third.
Our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Last night for the Dodgers, Kenley Jansen recorded career save number 162. He's now the all-time Dodger leader in saves, passing former Brewer Eric Gagne. Bartolo Colon earlier tonight left the game after just 4 pitches after being hit by a line drive, but the x-rays on his right thumb were negative, so good news for the Mets starter there. And Corey Kluber tossed his 3rd complete game tonight against Tampa. Just 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 115 pitches. He now ties Johnny Guaido, Clayton Kershaw, and Chris Sale with 3 complete games on the season.
Very nice, Sophia Kluber, a former Cy Young Award winner. Danny Valencia is okay, back on the field after getting hit by that pitch, a good sign. Here's Ryan Braun to start the inning. 4th inning from Oakland. Sonny Gray, Jimmy Nelson. Gray is pitching better, not so much more efficiently though, as Braun sends one deep to right, and there to make the catch is Muncy for out number 1. By the way, Bartolo Colon, you know, Terry Collins and the Mets, they flip-flopped Noah Syndergaard and Bartolo Colon so they could line up Syndergaard to pitch in the first game of their series against Washington. after the Nationals lead Milwaukee. So it is interesting that Cologne is moved up in front of Syndergaard as they start to plan ahead. Is it a little early to start trying to play matchup?
I guess that's how important the Mets feel that series is with the Nationals, right?
Yeah, and a World Series rematch against the Royals. And they decided to put all their best chips against the Washington Nationals, at least their power chips. Not that Bartolo Colon is a slouch by any stretch. He's been great for him this year.
Man, you wonder how serious that injury is going to be for him.
Yeah, now you're wondering what the wheel looks like, having maneuvered their rotation. You'd see teams maneuver rotations maybe in July. Certainly by August you start trying to line up against certain opponents. I'm not sure. I remember a setup of a rotation in June,
or at least admitting to doing it for that
exactly
reason, right?
That's probably better stated. I mean, yeah, teams do it if it kind of works out.
Off day, you know, we decide to flip-flop them, and instead of actually saying we want them to face the Nationals.
Yeah, good point. Probably been done in the history of the game. Lucroy takes a ball. 3 balls and a strike on Lucroy. He walked in the second. Wonder what he's doing between his at-bats as the designated hitter tonight.
Not sure.
Knowing Lucroy, he's probably out game planning for tomorrow.
No, he's probably sitting in the dugout. He's probably in the squat calling a game.
He's practicing his pitch blocking.
Right. And it's not as easy as just grabbing a bat and going up there 4 times. I mean, the designated hitter is a specialized ability. I mean, you got to learn how to deal with the time in between at bats. That's why most good designated hitters are just that. They don't do anything else.
Lucroy back up the middle, a base hit. Clean single for Jonathan Lucroy. It's just the 3rd hit of the day for the Brewers.
Walking a base hit for Lucroy, so he's doing a pretty good job of keeping himself busy between at bats. And that's exactly what you're talking about. The difference between Danny Valencia and Jonathan Lucroy. You see the way he curls that front shoulder in and keeps that bat in the hitting zone. He's able to keep the knob of the bat going through. There's Valencia, has opened up and got drilled in the wrist. More of a classic swing does Lucroy have.
Here's Chris Carter now, and he cuts one loose, misses. Valencia is really struggling over there at third base. Like between every pitch, he's kind of wincing and grabbing at his left wrist. And
well, he's lucky he's not his throwing wrist, because that would be an issue for him.
The former A, Chris Carter. It's off his foot. A foul ball. 0-2 the count. Carter has fond memories of his time in Oakland, namely because this was the organization he came up through, and this was the organization that gave him a chance in the big leagues. And that never really goes away for a player, even if they move on and get traded elsewhere like Carter has. Brewers now his 3rd organization. But you never forget your first day in the big leagues, and then that team that's associated with that can be a special memory. Carter was with the A's through the 2012 season. He had parts of 3 years here. He didn't play a whole lot. He was kind of in that window of DH first base, up and down between the major leagues and the minor leagues.
And guys like Carter aren't going to thrive like that, just playing every now and then. They got to be in there every day. It's kind of like Chris Davis. The more you play, the more you get into a groove, the more you get comfortable in that batter's box, the more productive you're going to be. And last year, once Chris Davis started to play every day, he had a good season.
Davis signed as a free agent by the Brewers. His under control period of his contract, or Carter I should say, came to an end with the Astros. And by the way, he was traded, Chris Carter. The guy who went from the A's, or from the Astros to the A's, was Jed Lowry in that deal. Astros felt like they needed some pop. That was in their full rebuild. Dumped a little salary. Swing and a miss. Sonny Gray strikes him out again. Second time he's punched him out, and for Gray, that's number 5.
That's a good curveball too.
Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go.
And Sonny Gray has done a pretty good job tonight of keeping his breaking pitches down in the zone, and most of them aren't even strikes. Curveballs, sliders.
Here's Aaron Hill now. He swung at the first pitch his last time up and singled. So his career batting average against Sonny Gray is now 1,000. He is 2 for 2 in his career. Two outs, runner at first. No score in this one. Been some base runners on. Both of these teams struggle mightily with runners in scoring position. That's been a great challenge. The A's aren't getting a whole lot of base runners on as it begins with, but Craig Counsell's team has had a lot of hits and a lot of traffic on the bases. But there are holes in the lineup, and Brewers have had a hard time cashing in regularly, consistently with runners in scoring position.
We have Brewers hitting .243 with runners in scoring position. A's at .258.
Yeah, and the A's are in a window right now offensively. During this run of 4 games, they've only scored 5 runs, and they're hitting .164 in that stretch with runners in scoring position. That's a big stat.
Yeah.
Hill able to lay off. 3-1 the count on Aaron Hill. Matter of fact, the A's are in a stretch now where they have not had a runner past second base as an offense in the last 12 innings. Bob Melvin is pitching coach Kurt Young next to him. Puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher.
Yes, it does.
Hill back up the middle, and it's a base hit off the glove of Semien. And Lucroy is going to make the turn. He'll go to third. Looked like Semien had a play. He reached out. It must have ticked right off the edge of his glove and into center field for a hit.
I think Semien thought he was going to catch it. They really do. And just out of his reach. He's trying to figure out how he didn't catch it. Right off the end of the bat was that line drive. Just out of his reach, and he thought he was going to be able to make the catch. Lucroy with 2 outs. Running on contact, able to get into third base.
He saw the deflection. Lucroy able to advance. Here's Neuenhuis now with 2 outs. And Kirk able to check his swing. Neuenhuis was up in the same position in the second inning with 2 on and 1 out. So he's got a chance to drive in some runs here again.
Yeah, getting men on base has not been the problem for Milwaukee. It really hasn't. They've been doing a good job of that pretty much all year. Just these situations have been difficult for them. Getting the big hit.
First and third. Neuenhuis swings and a drive into deep right field. Way back. It is off the top of the wall. Lucroy scores. Hill's going to stop at third. And Neuenhuis almost hit a 3-run homer. Will settle for an RBI double.
And that big high wall out there in right cost him. It had some top spin on it. It was sinking as it got out to the wall, but Neuenhuis with the base hit, driving in Lucroy. That ball was hooking and diving as it got to the wall and not able to get out of here. Well, that's out of most ballparks, but right off below that 362 sign.
Well, he hit that a ton. That had the sound off the bat. Double number 12 for Neuenhuis. It's an RBI. The Brewers strike first today with a run in the fourth. Now Maldonado with 2 on.
And he gets some backspin on that baseball. That's a homer. But he hit it hard and he drove in a run.
Well, a base hit here should score 2 more if it hits the outfield grass. This is a spot where Darnell Coles, the hitting coach, is hoping the playing time recently is going to pay off for Martin Maldonado. The fact he's been a regular member in the starting lineup. And tonight getting back-to-back starts between off days. Yeah, you see something Darnell has spotted with his
pulling off.
His check swing. In the air to right, little flare, long way to go, foul territory, and that'll fall safely.
And it's interesting the way pitchers, work hitters in back-to-back at bats. Remember, Maldonado was first at bat. Every pitch that Gray threw to him was either a slider or a curveball. Well, so this time Maldonado comes up with a couple of men on. They're all fastballs this time. So trying to get into the head of Martin Maldonado just a bit, keeping him guessing. I mean, what would you be looking for if you went up there in your Maldonado, right? I mean, first pitch, something off speed.
Right. Saw that hit speed by Neuenhuis, 104 plus. You could tell he hit it well. And the numbers confirm it. That's the beautiful age we're in right now. We can, all the things we thought we see or we think we see, now we can confirm it.
You get hits at 115, you get hits at 40 miles an hour.
That's right. You get them in all kinds of ways, but that's got to be one of the hardest hit balls of the year for Neuenhuis, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
2-2 to Maldonado, second and third, 2 outs. A run is in. Maldonado on the ground in the hole. Simeon sets his feet and a good throw to get the out to end the inning. But the Brewers strike on 3 hits. The big one, a Kirk Neuenhuis double. An RBI off the fence it goes. 1-0 Milwaukee in Oakland.
too much from the inside, does
Amen,
it?
man. Amen.
Well, you've only got a few weeks left to help select the starters for the 2016 Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. Go to Brewers.com/vote and fill out your Esurance All-Star Game ballot, full of Brewers to send your hometown stars to San Diego this July.
Jimmy Nelson will start the inning against Billy Butler. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. You ever been over to Alcatraz, partner?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Swim back? Did you swim back?
No. It's been tried.
It's a
to
long
no
way.
avail. Yeah, and the currents get you. Yeah.
I've not been over there.
You haven't?
No. I don't have a desire to go to Alcatraz.
Really?
No, it's a prison.
It's fascinating.
I know, but I'm not. That's the one place I don't want to see. I feel like there's a lot of bad vibes at Alcatraz.
No, it's cool. I mean, you got to go.
Didn't Merle Haggard spend some time at Alcatraz?
I don't know. Al Capone did.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it is a very cool tour to go over there. It's tough to get tickets to. It's always sold out. Got to get them months in advance.
Billy Butler strikes out Jimmy Nelson with a punch out to start the fourth.
They actually have a night tour over there. I've never done that.
See, that's a no way for me.
Really?
No chance.
See, you're the only person I've ever talked to that not only hasn't been, but has no interest in going.
Why would you want to go to a prison?
It's fascinating. Honestly. Why wouldn't you, as a guest? With nobody really in there. There's nobody in there incarcerated at the time.
I got a cousin who ran a prison, you know. He
World
was a warden.
famous.
I have no interest in going to work with him.
I don't blame you.
Just
when there's
saying.
Inmates in there, I get it.
There's a high fly ball. Playable, though. Flores is under it, and Alonso.
You know what? Next year when we come here, I'm going to take you.
I'm not going.
Oh, you're going.
No. I would rather jump out of a perfectly good airplane with a parachute, of course, than go to Alcatraz.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm not going to jump out of the plane with you. I'll buy your ticket to Alcatraz.
I mean, I'm looking for, an experience. I don't want to go be spooked. I mean, I can go to a haunted house anytime. And the best shots of Alcatraz are our shots, our aerial shots that we have. By the way, our aerial coverage tonight is brought to you by Rock's new book, If These Walls Could Talk. That must have cost you a pretty penny.
Yeah, it did.
I mean,
there with all my profits.
It's a big sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right there. Those helicopters aren't cheap.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a helicopter tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
You do that, though.
No prisoners in helicopters. Well, I guess there could be.
Could be future.
Broken bat, little flare is going to slice foul. I can think of 100 things I'd like to do in this area, the Bay Area, before I'd go to Alcatraz.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree on that.
We could go to Napa. We could go to wine country.
Done that yesterday.
Could go to the Olympic Club, the famed Olympic Club.
I haven't done that. Haven't
Harding
got an
Park.
invite.
There's probably 20 golf courses I'd rather go to right away. Kick it down to the wharf.
It's disappointing.
Ball and 2 strikes. Simeon swings and fouls it back.
I never knew that about you.
You know what? I feel like you've just been engulfed in the marketing sensationalism craze that is Alcatraz.
Wow. I went there.
It's an island.
I think I went there about 6 years ago. Don't need to go back. It was fascinating, the tour. A lot of movies from there.
Now, we once had dinner, oftentimes actually, at an old prison that was turned into a restaurant.
Right.
That was kind of interesting.
Precinct?
The precinct in Cincinnati.
That wasn't like a Alcatraz prison, though. That was a holding cell in a police department.
It's like where Otis hung out. He let himself in and out.
That's exactly right. That place in Cincinnati was a police precinct when they had horse and carriage. Not quite the same.
Not quite. It's not on an island.
No.
It's on a river.
No.
And all you folks who know who Otis is, you'll have to explain that to your children. Maybe even your grandchildren. Popped him up. Back in the grass. And Neuenhuis will make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Nelson. There it is.
We're going next year.
I don't even need to see any more than that.
No, we're going.
Perfect.
Got to see it from the inside.
Beautiful there.
Larry Heisel was on hand to help distribute frozen treats from the Brewers treat truck to RBI participants at the Mary Ryan branch of the Boys and Girls Club. Reviving baseball in the inner cities, or RBI, is focused on providing youth the chance to learn and enjoy baseball through organized activities which highlight the fundamentals of the sport. And as we told you around draft time, the Brewers' 5th pick, Corey Ray, was a participant in the RBI program in Chicago.
Very good, Sophia. Nice connection there. Ramon Flores leads off, fouls one away. Larry Heisel. Anytime we can get Larry Heisel on our broadcast, we are having a good night.
Yeah.
That is one great human right
yes,
there.
Yes, it is. He does a lot for the community. He does a lot for the inner city, and he mentors a lot of kids in the Milwaukee area. You're right. He is a fabulous individual.
He's as authentic, as real as it gets. Got quite a story to tell if you're ever around Larry. Speaks very softly. Carries big stick, though.
Yeah.
He has a lot to say, a lot of impactful words. So good job, Larry. Thanks for.
And before he hurt his shoulder, he was one of the great power hitters in the game.
Probably could have played professionally at 3 different sports. Certainly baseball made it to the big leagues, was an RBI machine. But probably could have had a chance to play in the NBA. Certainly had a chance to play in the NFL. Superb athlete.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball to the right side. This is Lowry. He'll gobble that up, and Flores is retired. One away to start the 5th inning for Sonny Gray. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia. Who is the last Brewer pitcher to record a win in Oakland? Wow, we got to go way back. Look at that. Back in the American League days.
Right. Yeah.
1997, Bryce Flory.
Out of the bullpen.
Jeff Cirillo had a big day that day. We got Larry Heisel and Jeff Cirillo in the same inning. Well done. A 9-5 Brewers win.
That's a good one.
Brewers went to the National League the next season, and they've had matchups with Oakland through the years, but they haven't been in this ballpark since 2002.
Most of them have been in Milwaukee. Home and home this year, 2-2.
That is hard to believe. Almost 20 years have gone by since a Brewer pitcher has won a game in this venue. That day, the lineup looked like this. We had Fernando Vina. We saw him in Los Angeles. Dave Nilsson, the Aussie. Cirillo hitting cleanup. Burnett's Loretta, Brian Banks, Gerald Williams.
Jesse Levis. I see Jesse in Philly a lot. He's a scout.
That was about the same time, Rock. Probably that exact lineup. Maybe shortly after our first encounter, which you don't remember.
In Houston?
In the Astrodome. Because I remember that lineup.
Yeah, that was the first year of interleague play, 97, and we did go to Houston.
98 was, oh, you're right. First year of interleague play.
Right.
Yeah, then the Brewers went to the National League in 98.
That's when we saw you.
That's right. Yep. So there's a connection there between that lineup and your big blow-off of Brian Anderson. Still kind of hurts a little.
I guess.
2-2 to VR. And a swing and a miss. Sonny Gray with a punch out. 2 up, 2 down.
But you did acknowledge that my treatment of you was better than Milo's.
It was.
So
that's for sure. But
all
that's
relative.
not saying a lot.
No, well, I ate with you.
I mean, Milo wasn't the friendliest guy to be around on all occasions. The late Milo Hamilton, legendary broadcaster.
We had dinner together, but between you and Vasgersian, there wasn't a whole lot I could say.
That's true.
Tough to get a word in edgewise.
Jeanette takes a ball. Matt Vasgersian's doing well for himself. We tell him hello. I'm sure he's watching tonight. He's probably been asleep for 2 hours. He's got early morning duty, with his show, MLB Now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a great show. He's doing a terrific job.
That was Matt's first season with the Brewers.
97.
97, right? And as I told you, I mean, he was parading a lot of guys in and out.
A lot of hangers-oners.
Pounding his chest.
A lot of flies.
Yep.
And Jeanette with a big swing. Sonny Gray giving up a run on 3 hits last inning. Kirk Neuenhuis with a 2-out RBI double off the fence in deep right center. A ball that left the bat over 104 miles an hour. Sonny Gray's come out this 5th inning with a little purpose. He's got Jeanette 1-2 and a nasty hook. Down he goes. Jeanette strikes out, and a 1-2-3 inning with 2 more Ks. 7 punch outs for Gray, but he's down 1-0.
A 1-0 lead in MLB TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Visit Brewers, or I should say MLB.TV for details.
Jimmy Nelson back to work. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A's are at the plate. Max Muncy starting the inning for Oakland. Nelson coming off a 3-up, 3-down fourth. And he's going to try to muscle his way through 5 tonight. It got started with a very long first inning, over 30 pitches in the first. Had his first 3-up, 3-down frame of the night last inning. And a little breaking ball in there for a strike from Nelson. 1-2 the count on the 9-hole hitter, Muncy. Muncy grounded out his first time up. Pulled one on the ground over to Jeanette. And the high fastball is ripped into right center. Muncy thinking about 2, a big turn. And he'll settle for a single.
Didn't get it high enough. Maldonado wanted it up out of the strike zone, and a 1-2 fastball down the middle, up above the belt. You can see the sign. Just didn't get it up enough, and Muncy able to hit it hard into center field on a 1-2 count.
So a base hit from the 9th place hitter sends us to the top of the order now, and Coco Crisp. In the air to left. Routine for Braun. And he's got it for the first out. Back to first goes Muncy. Crisp is 0 for 2. And he is dispatched quickly by Nelson. Crisp is now 0 for his last 8 at the plate. So he's the first out. That brings up Jed Lowry now. You never know when a key moment's going to come, and for Jimmy Nelson, it might have been in that first inning, even though he still threw over 30 pitches in that inning. Jed Lowry, the second batter Nelson faced, bounced into a 4-6-3 double play. You never know how the inning's going to shape up after that, but the A's looked like they had Nelson on the ropes quickly. He had already walked Coco Crisp. Lowry was in a deep count as well. And Jimmy threw him a 3-2 curveball. Lowry bounced into a 4-6-3 double play.
And the next 2 guys got base hits. Yeah.
It just looked like Nelson was in a bad place to start the game. He couldn't find his mechanics. He was talking to himself. Looked like he had a little stress going on the mound. Maldonado had already made a couple of trips to the mound. I mean, it was early, but it was a big pitch for him.
Man, right now he's really starting to find that curveball. Been much better. Starting to throw for strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Lowry doubled his last time up. Opposite field off the wall. Now, if one more hitter reaches, you'll probably see that Brewers bullpen get active. Runner takes off, and a swing and a foul by Lowry. It's the second time Lowry's been at the plate and a base runner has started.
Yeah, Coco Crisp did it in the first inning. A couple of times.
Lowry's bounced into 4 double plays this year. It's not a huge number. Switch hitter. He's over 300 as a right-handed batter. Around 280 as a lefty. Those are the splits.
Makes good contact ordinarily, and maybe you put the runner in motion.
You know, it's interesting though, as a left-handed batter against right-handers, he has 30 strikeouts already. Again, not a massive number, but it's not like he doesn't swing and miss. And he had a lot of runners in motion with him at the plate today.
No, if you're Bob Melvin, you're just trying anything to get something going offensively. Get a guy in motion and maybe somebody finds a gap, you get a run on the board. That's just about the only thing you can do as a manager to try and get something going. You can't go up there and hit. You can't steal bases for him. And let's put him in a position that maybe a base hit will score a run. Got to be aggressive.
2-2 the count. Muncy at first. And down and in. Maldonado lost the handle of it.
Another full count for Jimmy Nelson. Slider misses. Good pitch. Good take.
See what the base runner Muncy does here. One away. Full count. He goes. And a swing and a bullet into center field. A base hit. And Muncy's on his way to third. Lowry hung right in there on that one. And delivers a single to center. He's 2 for 3 tonight. And the A's are threatening first and third with one away in the 5th inning.
And another long at bat for Jimmy Nelson. 8 pitches to Lowry. Ends up as a base hit. Fastball up out over the plate. Pretty much the same pitch that Muncy got for his base hit. And Muncy with pretty good speed able to get around to third base.
Now this is truly new territory for the A's lately. This is the first time in 13 1/3 innings the A's have a runner past second base. First and third, one away, and Oakland's best hitter at the plate, Stephen Vogt. Or most productive in a spot like this, best all around. On the ground, got a chance to turn it here, got to hurry. Oh, and VR lost the handle, can only get one.
No, there was nobody at second base with a shift. Yeah, that was the problem. I mean, Scooter wasn't going to be able to get there. Scooter was shaded around in the hole. He was playing deep. You can see where he is. I mean, right there, there's no way Scooter gets there and is able to turn it. So he decides to get the out at first base, but a run in. That's the problem with that shift. And ordinarily that would be a double play, but with the shift, Scooter Jeanette not able to get there. Now, if that ball is more up the middle, VR is going to be able to take the play himself.
So we're all tied at 1. That's the only time that I don't agree with the shift. When it takes you out of what would normally be a routine double play scenario. And obviously it worked against the Brewers there. But boy, a double play would have been huge right there.
Man, you take the good with the bad with the shift, right? It takes away a lot of base hits, but once in a while it costs you an out, costs you a run.
All tied at 1. Valencia, who was hit by a pitch last time up. A decision to make here. Pitching coach Derek Johnson, Craig Counsell got activity in the bullpen. Pitch counts at 100. That first inning really set him up for a short start today. 2 outs. Nelson steps off. He'll start it over. Lowry at second. He carries the go-ahead run. 2-1 to count. And it misses. A fastball away. Valencia. And a 3-1 count. Jacob Barnes is loosening quickly.
It might be Jimmy's last hitter regardless.
Chris Davis due next. Wow, big swing by Valencia. A lot of moving parts in that swing.
Yeah, you would think that if you pitch him away, you're going to be able to get him, but he's hitting 330 right now. I mean, he's doing something right. And with all that movement, all that, what he's got going on, it seems to be working for him. 10 homers, hitting 330. It works for him.
Had a hamstring injury earlier in the year, in April. And he rolls one foul. He's had good success in his career against Milwaukee. He's a .333 hitter against the Brewers. In 9 games, he has 9 RBIs. I remember a booming home run he hit as a member of the Twins one year. Full count to Valencia. He's got a hit tonight, an infield hit. He was hit by a pitch right on the left wrist. Two outs in the 5th. And a ground ball. Jeanette's right there. And the shift works this time. Throws up the line. Carter, no problem, makes the tag. And the inning is over. But the A's score. And it's probably the last of Jimmy Nelson tonight. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Sun has set here on the West Coast, Oakland, California. And the Brewers and the A's are now tied at 1. Ryan Braun will lead off for the Brewers. Sonny Gray back to work. Braun is 0 for 2 against the former All-Star, Sonny Gray. Gray struck him out in the first inning, got him to fly out to right his last time up. A's just scored to tie it. Brewers got their run in the 4th. RBI double with 2 outs off the bat of Kirk Neuenhuis. And it looks like Jimmy Nelson is done for the day.
Well, he grinded through those 5 innings. But again, only gave up 1 run.
Talking with his pitching coach, Derek Johnson. Johnson was Sonny Gray's pitching coach at Vanderbilt in his college days. I'm sure this is a nice moment for him. Johnson in his first year as the Brewer pitching coach. I don't think scouting reports from college go very far, though, in the big leagues.
No. Guys change a little bit.
Especially all the success that Sonny Gray has had in his first 2 years. Back-to-back 14-win seasons. All-Star season last year. He had a .273 earned run average last season. That was 3rd best in the American League. Made his first All-Star team.
You know, before the season started, his career earned run average 288. Coming in, ERA 5.5. It's up to 3.20. Still pretty good.
It's only 26. Sonny Gray. And Braun with a chopper up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Lowry throws off balance, and Braun is safe. He beats it out. Heck of a play by Lowry. But
yeah.
Ryan Braun runs well. He was sniffing a base hit, and he's in there to start the 6th.
I didn't think there was any way they're going to be able to make it close. It's probably going to be reviewed by the A's. Yeah, Bob Melvin's on the top step, but I think he's going to be called safe. They showed it on the scoreboard. Here's a good look at it. Yep, he's safe. Good call at first.
You can tell Lowry is a former shortstop. That's a shortstop's arm on the bounce. If it gets there in the air, he's got a chance. But that was a really tough throw.
That was a good play. Made it close. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that.
So a lead runner on. And here is Jonathan Lucroy now, who has been on twice. Walked in the 2nd. He singled and scored in the 4th. Lucroy's got his batting average up to 314. He continues to climb. Tonight he's the designated hitter. Lucroy started the day 10th in the National League in hitting. Ryan Braun was 9th. Lucroy 10th. Daniel Murphy still leads the league, the Nationals' second baseman. He's hitting .356. We'll see him this weekend in Milwaukee, among others.
Yeah, Luke looks like he's really seeing the ball well tonight. And he pitches out of the strike zone. He's really not even flinching on. You can just tell by the way a guy takes the ball, takes pitches, as to how he's seeing the baseball.
In the air to center field, pretty well hit. Crisp is going back. He's feeling for the wall, and he's got it for the out.
Yeah, he hit that one well. Boy, the heavy air here in Oakland. You can see the face that Lucroy gives, saying, if we were home, that's a home run. They're getting very heavy here right now.
No, I
mean,
agree.
you can see just a sense of fog coming in. It's always been the case here in Oakland. Lucroy gives that one a ride. He crushed that baseball. Just got under it a little bit.
That's one of those balls that if it's hit earlier in the game, it might even have a chance to go out. But It's cooled off here a lot. Yeah, I'm with you. The balls are starting to die in the outfield. So it's a long, loud out for Lucroy. Here's Chris Carter now. .96 miles an hour off the bat.
Even if you pull a little bit, it's going to be a homer. Ifs and buts, right? We're candy and nuts. Everybody'd have a nice Christmas.
Carter has struck out twice. Sonny Gray with 7 punch-outs through the first 5 innings. And the Brewers as a team continue to strike out a lot. A lot of deep counts, but a lot of them ending in Ks.
And it's been the curveball that's gotten Carter a couple of times.
Brewers are actually second in the league in pitches per plate appearance right now. So it's a new philosophy. Darnell Coles is happy with the progress. He'd like to see more results on the back end of those long at-bats.
Man, new philosophy in hitters that take pitches. Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. have more guys in the lineup that are willing to work the count a little bit, have a better eye at the plate than historically the Brewers have had.
And he throws it away. A lot of room down there. Braun's thinking about third. He'll make the turn. He's on his way. And he will make it no problem.
Right.
An error from the mound on a pickoff attempt has the Brewers set up now with a runner at third and 1 out.
The other element to a lot of foul territory. Look at this. Not even close. And Alonso knows he better get going. You know, Braun's able to get to third base. Throws like that end up being 2 base errors in this ballpark and no other.
All right, so an E1 2-base error forces the A's defense in. Their infield is in now with Carter at the plate. And this is a spot you need contact. And Carter, oh, it's a shot off the glove of Valencia. Coming in to score is Braun, and Carter is aboard with a base hit on a missile that Valencia momentarily had in his glove. Brewers take the lead 2-1.
Almost knocked the glove right off his hand. Fastball in. We talked about the curveball's been giving Carter a problem. He's in with the bag and able to knock it down, but a base hit and an RBI. Man, that's a quick reaction to try to grab that line drive, especially as far in as he was. So the 2-base error, the infield hit, 2-base error, and a line drive off a glove scores a run.
Brewers regain the lead. Here's Aaron Hill now with Carter at first.
What was that exit velocity?
Yeah, that'll be one to check.
I want to check that one.
We're efforting. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Hill tonight, 2 for 2. Had a first pitch single in the second inning. His single in the fourth inning to center field was on 2 strikes. One man out. Inning started with a Braun infield hit. Sonny Gray has still never retired Aaron Hill in his entire career, Rock. He's 3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 at bats.
Chris Carter exit velocity, you want to know? 99.7.
That's it?
Whew. That's it.
I mean, that's a bullet. I thought that'd be in the 115 or 110. Wow. No?
I don't know. 99 is.
I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm surprised it wasn't more in the hundreds.
I see. Maybe he got it down on the label a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Hill fights off a good breaking ball.
Gotta check that machine.
Somebody kick that thing.
Jeez. I was thinking we're going to see, 105, 110, something like that.
You were prepared to be really wowed by the whole situation.
I'm not saying that's not good.
That's just a Noah Syndergaard fastball is all.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that. Maybe the atmospheric pressure has something to do with it.
You're telling me Bartolo Colon has better exit velocity than Chris Carter?
Do you feel like Neuenhuis's ball was hit harder than Carter's?
What was his?
Just to your eye. I told you.
No, I don't think. No.
Statistically, it was. Ryan Dole down there in the A's bullpen. That's the best part of our new wave of analytics and measuring apparatus. Fly ball to right, and Muncie's there for the out. We can take the old school eyes of Bill Schroeder and compare them, and he's actually right most of the time.
Old school eyes with a lot of glasses and
help. Read the card. I'll read it.
I can't see it.
Your best bat flip. Another thing you're excited about, Rock. It could be your ticket to the MLB All-Star Game in San Diego. Just post a video of your bat flip to @Fox Sports with hashtag Fox Bat Flip Contest now through June 26th. Visit foxsports.com/batflip for more information. Are you starting to warm up a little bit to the bat flip contest?
The contest, yeah, for kids. I mean, you know, I've been working on my pen flip, you know, and
when you really have something good to say.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, Carter's line drive, I had a pen flip.
Only to have that pen flip retracted. We can measure anything now in baseball.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
It's not as poetic as it used to be, though. You know, remember the old writers, the Shirley Povich and the great legendary writers, and how they would describe a ball like that. Now you just give the exit velocity, and it's kind of not any fun.
You really can't exaggerate anymore.
I mean, don't you like the phrase "a frozen rope"?
Yeah.
A linea.
And what would be the exit velocity of a frozen rope?
See?
Right?
What are our parameters now?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a new age.
Hey, you got to adjust. It's the way the game is.
I think the game still needs some poetry in it.
That's your job.
Heights back up the middle. Gray falls down. It's right to Simeon, and a close play. They got him at first. Good play by Simeon, but the Brewers score. Sonny Gray, after his team tied it. Braun started it with an infield hit, legged one out, then a two-base error, setting up the Chris Carter not so frozen rope that ends up as an RBI. 2-1 Milwaukee.
As we head to the bottom of the sixth inning here in Oakland, and Zubaz Palooza is back. And just a few short days, fans who purchase a special ticket package for Friday's matchup with the Nationals will receive their choice of either Zubaz print shorts or leggings. Plus, we'll also get a free camo ball and glove t-shirt. For tickets, visit brewers.com/theme nights.
Blaine Boyer will pitch for the Brewers as the Brewers take the lead. Council had Jacob Barnes ready to come in, but Nelson able to finish off the fifth inning. So Boyer gets the sixth. The Brewers are up 2-1. Chris Davis will lead off. Davis, Butler, and then Yonder Alonso. There's strike one.
Yeah, good numbers for Blaine Boyer. Pitched on Sunday against the Dodgers in a 3-up, 3-down inning. That included a strikeout. It might have been Barnes had the Brewers not taken the lead, but since they have a 2-1 lead, you get Boyer in the sixth.
Boyer with that slider. Misses. 2 balls and a strike on Davis. Chris is 0 for 2 and has stranded 4 runners on base. Left 2 on his first time up, ended the inning. Left 2 on his last time up, it ended the inning. Now 3-1.
Yeah, slider just missing that outside corner again.
And a little soft liner is going to fall into left center. So Davis will start the inning with a base hit. Lead man on here in the 6th.
Yep, 3-1 pitch, and Davis able to hook it out into left field right off the end of the bat, but look, fastball, got it, and starts the 6th off with a base hit.
Here's Billy Butler. He's 0 for 2. And he swings at the first pitch. Wow, just foul. Boy, that didn't miss it by much. Hard to figure the decline of Billy Butler. He had some terrific years with the Royals, but was not a part of their World Series team last year. He was on that first World Series team and then signed with the A's, deciding to leave Kansas City. They didn't make him the offer. They didn't really pursue him like he had wanted. And he signed a deal with Oakland. Last year with the A's, which was his first year, had 15 homers. He's sitting on just 2 home runs right now.
Yeah. Well, he's been able to get that average up since the A's left Milwaukee.
Oh, and 2 the count on Butler. Got a runner at first. Davis inside. Maldonado just missed it. And that'll be a pass ball. Maldonado was trying to get Boyer a strike, and he forgot to catch the ball.
That's a big pass ball right there. No real reason to try and frame that pitch because it was so far inside. He just missed it right off the end of the glove.
Pass ball puts a runner at second with nobody out. Takes Boyer out of a double play opportunity. And Billy Butler grounds into a lot of double plays historically. Matter of fact, he led the AL twice, and 1 year led the major leagues in double plays grounded into back in his Royals days. 2012 was his all-star year. Drove in 107 runs. Had a pretty good year with the Royals the next year, had 82 RBIs, but it's been a fall ever since. He's now 30 years of age. Just has not been the kind of hitter the A's thought they were getting when they signed him. He's on a 3-year deal. He's got 1 more year next year. Big bouncer. Boyer forgot to cover. Now he comes over late and a race to the bag, and Boyer, fortunate that Butler was the base runner. He's able to get there for the first out.
Yeah, I mean he was lucky because Butler doesn't run all that well. A little slow to get over there, but able to put on the afterburners and beat him there to first base. Maybe thinking that Carter's going to play that himself, then realize a little panic sets in. Look how quickly he gets over there, and he beats Butler to first. And then you have to turn around and make sure a runner's not going to try and score.
Yeah, Davis did advance to third on that. So a runner at third, the tying run with 1 out. And here comes Yonder Alonso. Alonso played his college ball at Miami with Ryan Braun. I'm sure those two are discussing the Hurricanes' quick exit out of the College World Series. UC Santa Barbara with the upset. Brewers assistant general manager Matt Arnold is from UC Santa Barbara. He is reveling in the thrill of victory over the mighty Canes. Matt's on this trip this week. The Gauchos. The Gauchos were the team that had that walk-off grand slam against Louisville, right, in the regional. Ground ball right to Hill. He'll look the runner back. There's the second out. That's a big out for Boyer.
That's a good pitch too. Fastball away, tailing away from Alonso, and right at Aaron Hill at third. That's a nice pitch. The only thing Alonso could do was hit it to the opposite field to get something on it. Couldn't have worked out any better.
One more piece to the puzzle here in the 6th inning. He scored last inning, but it was on a fielder's choice, or rather on a ground out. Stephen Vogt drove in the run. Marcus Semien, young hitter with big power. A's are very high on this young shortstop. They think as he continues on in the big leagues, he's going to learn the pitchers. He's going to learn how to play the position. His errors are down significantly from last year. They feel like they've got a great talent in Semien. And he's hit some home runs this season. He has 12. Low batting average, but 12 homers. He's driven in 28, typically hitting down in the bottom of the order.
In Milwaukee, we saw him pull the ball quite a bit, so Blaine Boyer trying to stay away from him.
That's a good pitch. Fastball on the outside corner.
Yeah, make him try to go to the opposite field. Not much you're going to do with that pitch. Look at that.
One ball, two strikes, 2 men are out. Brewers in another one-run game. They saw a few of these in Los Angeles. Couldn't hold them. Trying to flip that script tonight. 1-2 pitch and a base hit. A run is in. That'll tie the game. Semien will stop at first. It's an RBI single. And just like that, the A's have tied it up. That's the first hit of the night with a runner in scoring position for Oakland.
Yeah, he got the pitch up a little bit. You can see the reaction of Maldonado. Didn't get it on the corner. Well, the Brewers were saying if you're going to get a hit, it's going to be to right field. You got to tip your hat to him. A little bit too much of the plate, and he hit it hard into right. And you can see the shift. Chris Carter way off the line, not expecting him to hit it there. And we're once again all tied up.
2-2 game. Brewers scored in the top of the 6th. A's answer in the home half. Max Muncy now with 2 away. That pass ball really set the inning up for Oakland. Very similar to the the error by Gray on the pickoff attempt.
Yeah, mistakes, right? And when you're not scoring a lot of runs, you make mistakes like that, and it costs you. He is burned up. I mean, nothing upsets a catcher more than something like that. Especially Maldonado, who really prides himself in solid defense every night he's out there.
He's got those fingernail stickers on, so Boyer can see the signs. Wants a fastball up and in here. And up and in he goes, and a big swing and a miss. They tried to get up and in on Muncy last time, and Jimmy Nelson left it a little bit too much in the zone, and Muncy ripped one into right center, a base hit. Little half swing. He goes 2-2 now.
No surprise Simeon's not trying to steal. Well, he's 5 for 6 in stolen base attempts this year.
Runner goes, and he's able to stay alive.
Had a good jump. See, a little bit extra lead that time. Leads weren't very big until that last pitch.
Couldn't get him to chase it. 3-2 now. Runner takes off, and a swing and a foul. Muncie's hanging in there. Oh boy, you're giving up a base hit to start the inning. Now, pass ball was costly. Got the next 2 men out, looking like he had a chance to get through the inning. Had the hitter to 2 strikes even. And then Simeon, Marcus Simeon, the shortstop, with a base hit, his second hit of the night, has tied the game. Count stays full. See what he has in mind here. And he missed. Ball 4. Brewers bullpen right now is going through a little bad spell. Bullpen that has been so good for the Brewers. And I think Craig Counsell, knowing that this was the best part of his club, is starting to unravel a little bit on this road trip. Yes. Every area of the team goes through its slumps, and right now the bullpen, the late relief, is having their trouble. And Boyer's coming out. Will Smith is coming in. Top of the order coming up. We'll take a break.
On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business.
Well, Blaine Boyer, he was a strike away from getting out of this inning with no runs. Instead, a base hit and a walk. Tying run does score, and now it's going to be Will Smith to try to get through this 6th inning. This all started because of a short start by Jimmy Nelson. Even though Jimmy left the game with only 1 run allowed, he struggled tonight, and so the bullpen is at it early. 11th appearance for Will Smith.
Yeah, pitched on Sunday, gave up a game-tying home run to the Dodgers. That was in the 8th inning. Yeah, 105 pitches for Jimmy Nelson through 5 innings.
It is a bullpen that is being asked to pick up a lot of innings on this road trip.
Yeah, which is why Craig Counsell continues to have 8 relievers down there.
No balls and a strike. Coco Crisp, switch hitter, turns around, hits righty against Will Smith. 2 on, 2 out, and a swing and a foul. He was chasing one that time. Marcus Semien with an RBI single to tie the game with 2 outs and 2 strikes here in this 6th inning. And that back foot slider almost hit the back foot.
That's where you want it. Now down and in like that, you don't want to leave that pitch up over the plate.
One and 2 the count. 2 A's on for Crisp, and he just missed. Only 1 other game in progress at this point out in LA. Nationals are shutting out the Dodgers 2-0. That game's in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nationals are getting a great start out of Tanner Roark. It's a big series there.
Yeah.
Dodgers just took 3 out of 4 from the Brewers. Nationals lost 3 in a row in San Diego. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Mets. Or lost 2 in a row in San Diego, I should say. 2-2 game. 2-2 pitch coming.
Nice block by Maldi on that slider. And a long way to go to square himself to keep it close. And you just go across, that ball is going to deflect over toward that A's bullpen. Got to square those shoulders. It could be tough.
And we got a full count, a lot of deep counts. Smith looking at the runners. They start. The pitch is down and in. Ball 4. Crisp draws the walk. The bases are loaded. And Will Smith will have to face Jed Lowry, who's hot tonight. He's got 2 hits. He can almost think along with Counsell. He figures, let's get Smith in the game, try to get him through this inning quickly. You know, see if he can have a minimal effort to get through the 6th inning and then possibly bring him back for the 7th, but that might be out the window now.
Well, if you have then you have Blazek, Thornburg, and Jeffress. I mean, but it's kind of different now that the A's have tied it up. Imperative that they get an out here.
Michael Blazek just returned from the disabled list, starting to get ready. So Lowry is the batter. Lowry, the switch hitter, hitting right-handed now. 2 out of 3 tonight. Lowry takes a ball. Lowry has a higher batting average as a right-handed batter. He's hitting .302 this year. By the way, an update in LA. Yasmani Grandal's just hit a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. Dodgers now lead that game. Boy, how about their late comebacks lately?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not just the Brewers.
Did it twice against Milwaukee with home runs.
I'm sure Dusty Baker's going to have to answer a few questions about why Roark.
Right. Kept him in there, right?
Got a shutout going. Yeah, Yasmani Grandal, 3-run homer. Dodgers take the lead. Three balls and a strike. That's Steven Vogt due next. Lowry in a hitter's count. Bases full of A's. In the air, center field. And Neuenhuis will run it down to end the inning. Brewers walking the tightrope. They do give up a run, though. And we are all tied at 2 as we go to the 7th. And Sonny Gray's day is over. What'd you think of Sonny Gray tonight? He's on the comeback trail from an injury and had his moments tonight.
Yeah, he had some great breaking pitches tonight. I mean, the slider, the curveball, really didn't make too many mistakes. Every one of them seemed like they were down out of the strike zone, but the Brewers were offering out a lot of them. 7 punch-outs, 1 walk. He scattered 7 hits, and Brewers able to put a couple of runs on him. He didn't help himself by committing that error, getting Braun to third base to help the Brewers score a run. As Sean Doolittle takes over at one of 2 left-handers out of that A's bullpen. 33 appearances now.
Martín Maldonado on the first pitch. He muscles one for a base hit. He was not wasting any time at all. Maldonado, who got robbed of a hit his last time up, gets one to fall here.
Hacking at that fastball, going in on him. Was supposed to be away. Able to fist it out there in the right field. So a good start to the 7th. He likes the fastball. He will hack early in the count.
So Maldonado is aboard. Here comes Ramon Flores. Brewers have had their base runners tonight. Flores trying to bunt his way on, and in foul territory. Valencia gave it a good effort. Flores has singled in this game, opposite field hit. That was his first at bat in the third. He bounced out his last time up. He's trying to bunt the runner over. And Doolittle will go to first, his only play. Sacrifice for Flores. That'll advance Maldonado to second base. And he carries the go-ahead run.
And not a bad job by Ramon Flores to drop down the bunt. I thought that Doolittle might have had a play at Maldonado because Molly doesn't run all that well. Check it out. Deadens the baseball. A throw right there might be close. I think that Simeon wanted the baseball, but decided to get the shore out.
VR, the switch hitter. He'll turn around, hit right-handed. Chance to drive in a run. Been a tough night for him tonight. 0 for 3 against Sonny Gray. Strikeout last time up.
Gets it in there pretty good, doesn't he, Doolittle? Four-seamer. 96 on that last fastball. Out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Not too many of those guys in the big leagues.
Broken bat, and that is going to be caught, and Maldonado takes off and is going to be easily doubled up. Oh, the Brewers base running not good. Not sure what Maldonado saw there, but that was the bad choice.
And it's all tied at 2. Hey, the LA Dodgers come to Miller Park for a 3-game showdown with the Crew next Tuesday, June 28th through Thursday, the 30th. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com/tickets.
So Will Smith does return for a second inning. After retiring Lowry with the bases loaded. That was a big out. And Smith probably in there to face Stephen Vogt. And then there's a stretch of right-handers coming up after that. Michael Blazek is getting loose in the Brewer bullpen. So probably just a one-batter scenario here for Smith. The inning, last inning, ended. Maldonado, I think he just assumed that was going to fall, and
either that or he thought there were 2 outs. I'm not sure what was going on, but clearly that was not going to be a base hit. But you read it off the bat, and I guess the angle that he had, he thought it was going to drop, and ended up being a double play.
Yeah, you can see his facial expressions. It's bugging him. I mean, he's had a couple of plays tonight. You know, Maldonado's a a pretty smart player, but maybe a case where he's just trying to do too much in this low-scoring game. And you never know, maybe one leads to the other. He has the pass ball that leads to a run, gets the hit, trying to do a little too much, and ends up as a double play.
Yeah, you can't be thinking about that stuff, but it's natural, right? I mean, you contribute to giving up a run and make a bad base running play.
Look at him, still shaking his head.
And he knows. I mean, he can't be doing those types of things when he gets limited playing time.
3-1. Vogt pulls one foul. Well, that's the challenge of the catching position. You have to compartmentalize quickly and move on.
Well, that's the key to any good athlete, right? I mean, you can't dwell on things that have happened in the past, and got to look forward. But when you don't play every day, it's tough to do. You get these opportunities, back-to-back games from Maldonado, and he's still upset with himself.
Asking for a couple of shake-offs. 3-2 the count. Vogt at the plate, and a high fly ball deep into right center. Neuenhuis back, and Neuenhuis drops it. He was at the wall. He dropped the ball. Vogt never stops, and he'll end up at third base.
I'm not sure how many triples he gets in his career, but that's one way to get him. Neuenhuis got there. I think he had it in his glove, but it just came out. Well, look at that pitch. Down. That was not a bad pitch by Will Smith. Now let's check it out. He gets it in the glove, but just drops it immediately. I mean, he dropped it before he actually hit the wall. It was coming out before he went to the wall, and Stephen Vogt able to get into third base with the go-ahead run.
His first triple of the year. And Will Smith is out. Pitching change in Oakland. And the A's have the go-ahead run at third base. Team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes and better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Across the bay from there, that's San Francisco. We are in Oakland, and the Brewers and the A's are tied at 2, but the A's are now threatening. Blazek is on to pitch, first time since returning from the disabled list. A little breaking ball in there for a strike. He was out with a tight elbow, Rock. This is appearance number 26.
Yeah, and you know, his last couple of appearances before being put on the disabled list is why that earned run average is up over 4.
Danny Valencia, little half swing. And it's ball 1. They'll ask if he went. He checked it.
And just now, Craig Counsell feels as though he has the bullpen that he thought he was going to have going into spring training. And then some. He's got 8 out there right now.
And a wave and a miss. Good breaking ball from Blazek to get to 1 and 2.
Yeah, actually still waiting on a run, right? Knebel gets sent down.
Right.
But Knebel went down just to get some innings to get ready. He should be back soon.
Valencia pops it up. Foul territory. That's going to be in the seats. As much room as there is down the lines, not as much behind home plate.
Yeah.
Especially in that little corner there. Well, the inning started with a triple. Stephen Vogt, his first of the year. And a ball that Nieuwenhuis had in his glove briefly before he hit the wall. Runner at third, nobody out. Blazek needing a strikeout. The 1-2 and a fastball fouled away. He was late.
I figure it's going to take some time for Blazek to get that good location, the location that he had to start the season. You can see that one right there, a miss. He missed his spot right there and got away with it.
Brewers led 2-1. A's scored last inning on a 2-out RBI hit by Simeon. Brewers have given up a lot of late leads on this road trip. It's been a frustrating trip in that regard. They are 1-6 on the trip. Counsell got into his bullpen early. Jimmy Nelson only lasted 5 innings tonight. Left with the game tied at 1. Valencia on the ground. VR bobbles and no play. But Vogt has to stay put. 2 plays that could have been made, maybe should have been made.
That's an error.
VR is going to get an E6. He's been extremely sure-handed, but maybe trying to do a little too much with this
he's trying to get in position to throw before he gets the baseball, just forgets to catch it. He was thinking about the throw before the ball was in the glove and didn't get anybody.
So 1st and 3rd, and Chris Davis coming up. Davis had a hit his last time up, scored the tying run. Blazek facing his second batter. I'm sure the nerves are flowing a little bit. He made 1 appearance in the minor leagues to get ready. And Davis pops it foul and out of play.
Yeah, left that breaking pitch down the middle, but Davis, little uppercut, fouls it back. Check out where this ends up. Right down the middle.
Took a mighty hack.
Look at Davis. Can't believe I missed that one.
He has the kind of power that can change the game quickly with 1 swing of the bat. And certainly Blazek knows that. 1 ball, 1 strike on Davis. His hit last time up came with nobody on. It started the inning. His previous 2 at-bats, in each of the at-bats he had 2 men on base and came up empty twice. Nobody out. First and third for the A's, and Davis a little half swing foul. Tried to check his swing.
That backup curveball right here, and Davis upset with himself. That's about as much emotion as you'll see from Chris Davis.
On the ground, chance to turn it. No, Jeanette's coming home. And now Vogt is in a rundown. Maldonado will run him down. Boy, that worked out well for the Brewers. They cut down the run. I thought Jeanette was going to try to start a double play.
I think he would have if the ball was hit a little bit harder, but I guess you cut down the runner. They had the right guy at third base. And Jeanette on a couple of hops. I mean, he's thinking home plate right away. I mean, you're instructed as a base runner to go on a ground ball like that to eliminate the double play. The Brewers able to get the lead runner, and it couldn't have worked out any better.
Heads up play by Jeanette.
So now a ground ball could get the Brewers out of the inning.
Now, so often it's almost routine for defenses in that situation to try to avoid a big inning. You take the 2, you give up the run, but Jeanette taking a shot at home plate. They get the out easily. Well, and now a chance to get out of it.
Yeah, well, runs have been so hard to come by for the Crew that you can't give up anything. If you have that opportunity, you take it, and it's a good throw in. And Maldonado did it perfectly without a throw.
So it'll be Billy Butler now. Butler takes a strike. He's grounded into 5 double plays. Suddenly the Brewers have a way out of this inning.
Yeah, if it's an 8-8 game, you might take the double play.
Yeah. Or maybe a different part of the batting order.
Yeah, when you're not scoring runs, you got to take those outs.
A's are now 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position tonight. Simeon had the only hit. Drove in a run. Those are the numbers. Brewers got a run in the 4th on an RBI double by Neuenhuis. The other hit with a runner in scoring position did not score a run. Oh, and 2 the count. Blazek. That's actually Maldonado who wanted timeout. Start him up. Start him over again, Maldonado says. Trying to get Blazek's attention because he wants to go to a new sign.
Yeah, Michael's looking down.
See what he got. 0-2 pitch. Couldn't get to the fastball.
That's not where he wanted it, up and away, but Billy Butler fouled it straight back.
Blazek started the year as the setup man. Got Thornburg in the 7th, Blazek in the 8th, and ideally it was a closing combo of Jeffress and Will Smith. That all changed with Smith's injury. And a fastball called. Strike 3. Down he goes. Billy Butler strikes out.
What's he looking for, right?
Second out of the inning. First strikeout for Blazek, and now 2 men are gone in the 7th.
I know these guys these days have great eyes at the plate, but when you have the go-ahead run on base, you got to be a little bit more aggressive than that up at the plate. It had the zone.
Two outs. Here's Yonder Alonso now. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And that's hit hard. Jeanette can't get it. Base hit. 1 run's going to score. Valencia's in, and the A's are taking the lead. Alonso wasting no time. Jumping on the first pitch. It's an RBI single. 3-2 Oakland.
Yeah, so the error comes around to score. Danny Valencia reached on an error at short. And here's where the shift almost was able to bail out the Brewers. Scooter just not able to get there. Not tall enough. Missed it by a couple of feet. And the go-ahead run scores.
Yeah, the error by VR. A couple of misplays early. The triple on the ball that was in and out of Neuenhuis's glove. It's all set up an Oakland run scoring inning in the 7th. Semien had the hit that tied it last inning.
Yeah, with 2 outs.
He shot a 2-strike pitch to right field. Blaine Boyer. A's up 3-2. Now Blazek trying to keep it that way. And a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count now. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 8th inning. It'll be Jeanette to start it. Ryan Braun, then Jonathan Lucroy. So right where you want to be in the batting order. John Axford getting loose in the Brewers, or rather the A's bullpen. Semien into left center field, falling fast. That's down, a base hit. And it gets between both outfielders. This is going to score a couple of runs. Semien all the way to third base. Now the throw gets away, but Blazek is there to back up. 2 more are in for the A's. Semien has twice delivered with 2 outs. 5-2 Oakland.
Now the ball was up in the air for a while, and I thought maybe one of the 2, Braun or Neuenhuis, would be able to get there. Slider off the end of the bat just a bit. And not able to get there, but what makes matters worse, it gets all the way by both of them, and that's what allowed the 3rd run to score in the inning. Boy, oh boy.
The Brewers have been playing pretty good baseball this year. Been executing well, but not tonight. They've had a lot of mistakes in this game, and Counsell forced to go back to his bullpen. And so Blazek is gone. Had a chance to get out of it. Instead, 3 runs are in. The inning is still alive.
as we continue here in the bottom of the 7th, and tonight's time of the game winner, Sidelines Bar, Bait, and Resort from Lake Nabagaman. Nabagaman. If the Tavern Contact calls the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Nabagaman. That's better.
Jacob Barnes is the next hurler for the Brewers.
How about Lake Smith? It's a little bit late.
Lake Schroeder.
Yeah, something easy.
Well, Barnes will work with a runner at third, 2 away. A's have scored 3 in the inning. And the Brewers bullpen continues to leak a little oil here lately.
Yeah, one of those runs is on the line of Will Smith, and 2 of them on Blazek.
There's a costly error in the inning by VR. Well, you have nights like this, no question. But coming off the off day yesterday, the Brewers just haven't played their tightest game of the year, and it's cost them.
And leadoff triple to center could have been caught. The error by VR.
Barnes was up a long time ago. He was warming up in the 5th inning. Was going to pick up Jimmy Nelson. Nelson was able to get out of the inning, and that was his last inning. He left with the game tied at 1. I always wonder about a reliever when you get fully warmed up and ready to come into the game, and then you sit back down for, what's it been, about an hour?
Yeah.
And now back in.
Well, the key is to not get fully warmed up. I mean, that's the idea. I mean, you get up there, you get somewhat loose, and you get those 7 pitches out on the mound when you are actually called into the game, and that's when you dial it up.
Muncy draws the walk. The inning continues. 2 hits and a walk with 2 outs. And now the 8th batter of the inning, Coco Crisp, is on. A's haven't been hitting much. They've scored a grand total of 5 runs in the last 4 games they've played. They got 5 on the board tonight with 11 hits. Barnes is the 4th reliever used. Nelson started the game. His line's not awful, 5 innings, 1 run, but a lot of pitches, and had to really struggle to get through the 5th inning, which started the bullpen wheel early for Craig Counsell. Boyer, then Will Smith, Blazek, and now Barnes. Boyer went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run.
And sometimes that a lot of work that the Brewers bullpen has been asked to eat up and maybe taking a toll somewhat.
He goes 1-2 now.
A good slider from Barnes. He's got a good one. He calls it a cutter. Acts like a slider.
'26-year-old Jacob Barnes, first year in the big leagues. Made his debut in Philadelphia, and it was impressive. Great numbers in AAA to get the call up this year. Little jam shot to VR. He'll go across for the final out of the inning. 8 batters come to the plate. The A's do damage. They get 3 runs, and they lead at 5-2. A 3-run bottom of the 7th inning. The Brewers go to the 8th inning. Gonna have to play comeback tonight. How about Scooter Gennett? Sunday, Father's Day, 1st inning. Bam! Launches one opposite field off Kenta Maeda. Powerball home run number 6 for Gennett. Thought that 1 run was going to hold up, but it did not.
Held up to the 8th.
Came back late, won that game. Home run leaderboard, Chris Carter has 18. Leads the club in homers. He is currently tied for 3rd in the league in home runs. Jake Smolinski will enter the game in right field as Bob Melvin tightens up his defense a little bit with a lead now. And a familiar face on the mound, John Axford, will pitch.
Yeah, having a nice year, an earned run average at about 3.5, almost as many strikeouts as innings pitched. It's always been about throwing strikes for John Axford. 9 walks, 25 punch outs so far this year in appearance number 29 tonight.
Scooter Gennett will lead off this 8th inning, and he swings and lines one left field. That's down fair, and to the wall it goes. Gennett on his way to 2nd with a double. Good way to start the 8th. Gennett with a base hit, his first of the night, an extra base hit.
Yep, doing a good job getting on top of that high fastball from John Axford. Check it out. That slices it down that left field line. Well, he really trusting his hands right now is Scooter Gennett. Nice and quiet up there at the plate. And gets it down in that left field corner. Tying run on deck for Milwaukee.
Double number 11 to go along with his 6 homers. Well, he's had a great road trip swinging the bat. Gennett has found his swing again out west. That's Scooter's 9th hit of the road trip. 9 for 30 is Gennett. Here's Braun now. And he swings at the first pitch. That's going to get down a base hit. Almost in the same spot. Gennett scores easily. And Ryan Braun with an RBI double. Back-to-back doubles. And the Brewers will bring the tying run to the plate quickly here in the 8th.
Well, they're not waiting around, are they? I mean, Scooter Gennett with a double on the first pitch, and now Ryan Braun doing the same on a fastball in. Boy, Braun able to pull those hands in and hit it down the line. I'm not even sure that was a strike.
Number 20.
But able to get it inside the left field line, and that Brewers in business.
Early swings against John Axford, 2 first pitch hacks. And with Lucroy coming up, Bob Melvin is going to make this a very short outing for John Axford. 2 pitches, he's gone. So to the bullpen goes Melvin. Ryan Dole coming in. Pitching change at the Coliseum. That is a tough pill to swallow for him, matching up against his old team. He's out there for 2 pitches. And Bob Melvin with the quick hook. So Ryan Dole will enter. 32nd appearance of the year. He's got Lucroy to face. The Brewers with back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, strikeout pitcher. Last pitched a few days ago, against the Angels. And you can see more strikeouts and innings pitched for Ryan Dole. Throws hard.
Here's Lucroy now. He's got 3 unearned runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Brewers quickly get a run on the board with those back-to-back doubles by Jeanette and Braun. Lucroy has a hit tonight. He's walked as well. Singled and scored in the 4th. 26-year-old Ryan Dole, his 2nd year in the big leagues. Dole still considered a rookie, pitched in 13 games last year. All out of the bullpen for the A's. And Lucroy doesn't bite.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter right there. That slider, it's a good one. He's got good movement on his fastball. Just missed the outside corner, as you can see there, with the slider.
Dole has some closing experience. Throughout the minor leagues, he would end up in the closer's role. Lucroy fouls one away. Dole last year started in Double-A, made it to Triple-A, pitched well both levels, ended up with a call-up to the big leagues. And this year he's been a mainstay in the bullpen. One thing that Bob Melvin likes about him, he's kept his hits down. He's only giving up about 5.5 hits per 9 innings. That's very good. Lucroy into center field, but he hits it too hard and it's right to Crisp. Braun will tag. He'll make it to third. Oh, a couple of hard outs by Lucroy to center field tonight.
Yeah, no luck for him. Almost hit one out in the center field his last time up, and this one right on the screws as well. On the slider away. Takes it right back through the middle and unfortunately right at Crisp.
Lucroy looks like he is in a good place at the plate right now.
Yeah, he looks good, confident at the plate.
You can almost see it in the way he's taking pitches even.
Right.
Well, nothing to show for the last 2 plate appearances, although he hit them both right on the barrel. Here's Chris Carter now. And he goes, unable to check his swing. Don't see much reaction out of Carter very often, but you can tell he didn't like that one. And a breaking ball in there. Dole's just one of those overachievers that's plowed his way through the minor leagues. He's not a big guy at all, especially for a right-hander. He's only 5'9", 175 pounds, was a 32nd rounder. And yet here he is in the big leagues. He's had success at every level. 32nd rounders, they are looking for reasons to get rid of you.
Right.
The wolf is at the door throughout your career, but he's been riding that wave and first full season in the majors. If you ever spent any time in Beloit watching minor league baseball there, he passed through Beloit on his way through the lower levels of A-ball in the minor leagues. Carter with a runner at third. 1 out. And Carter a swing and a miss. Hung right up there, but he was out in front of it.
Yeah, big strikeout with a man at third, less than 2 outs. Well, those are the ones you got to get. Well, on a slider that was a mistake by Dull, and Carter swings right through it. Looked like he had a pretty good swing at it, but came up empty.
Those are usually the kind you don't get back, right?
Yeah, that was right down the middle.
And Hill swing and a foul tip right into the middle of the catcher. Braun still at third. Hill's got plenty of power. He's at 7 this year. He has 2 hits tonight. Popped him up. Shallow right. Long run. Smolinski. Back is Lowry. And that will end the inning. Promising start. Back-to-back doubles, but the next 3 hitters retired. Brewers down a pair. Thanks for staying up late with us, Marty. Maybe she's getting ready for a big comeback. We'll see.
I am. How about you?
Absolutely. Ready to roll. 5-3 Oakland. Jacob Barnes back in it. Brewers got a run back last inning. Brewers have not played well tonight, yet they're still in this game. And Lowry slaps one to the opposite field, a base hit. That's his 3rd hit of the night. 3 out of 5 is Jed Lowry.
That fastball going away and able to get on top of it and line it hard into left. These have had their hitting shoes on today. They've got 12 hits. Yeah, Brewers once again with 10 hits, but only 2 runs on the board. Make that 3 runs on the board.
Stephen Vogt, he's got a couple of hits tonight. Barnes looking for that double play ball here and is going to get one. Jeanette, VR, easy as it gets. 4-6-3 double play, just what he ordered up.
I tell you, that Stephen Vogt likes the ball down. He is a good low ball hitter. An easy double play, 4-6-3. But I guess if you're facing Stephen Vogt, I think pitching him hard upstairs might be an option. He has hit everything hard that's been down around the knees.
Brings up Valencia now. This will be a good matchup. Power against power. And a fastball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Just a lot of near misses and miscues for the Brewers defensively. A 3-run 7th for the A's. All 3 of those runs unearned. The error by VR. He's been very good this year. Rushed it a little bit on a play on a little ground ball in the hole. Neuenhuis probably tell you he should have made that catch, although it's certainly out of the ordinary, out of the routine. He had to run a long way, and just before he hit the wall, ball hit his glove and then popped out. Been one of those games for the Brewers, but they're still playing, and you have 3 outs to work with at the plate. Valencia hits it hard, right field, laying out, can't get it. Flores goes off his glove. Valencia will roll into second with a double. And his second hit of the game.
Yeah, good effort by Ramon Flores. Almost had it. That's a pretty good swing right there by Danny Valencia. Right off the end of the glove, but the good point is that it didn't go to the wall. Kind of skipped off to the side. Had it gone by him and down into the corner, it would have been a triple.
Yeah, that one hurt him a little bit. Maybe knocked the wind out of him a touch. So it'll be Chris Davis. Runner at second, 2 outs. Brewers certainly don't want to go down any more at this point. Down 2. First of a 2-game series here in Oakland. The Brewers are going to wrap this up tomorrow afternoon. Ryan Matson, Oakland's closer. He's ready for the 9th. Brewers will have Neuenhuis, Maldonado, Flores scheduled to hit in the 9th. 7, 8, 9 in their batting order. Good slider in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. 89 miles an hour with that slider.
Yep, and clearly in the box.
High fastball and a strikeout for Barnes to end the inning. Sets us up for the 9th. Brewers' last call here. They're down a pair. Neuenhuis will lead it off against Matson. The Bay Bridge brings you from San Francisco to Oakland, and here we are at the Coliseum. We go to the 9th inning. Brewers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. First pitch to Kurt Neuenhuis. Misses. Ball one. Ryan Madson, the A's closer, is on to try to nail this one down for Oakland.
Yeah, big time sinking fastball for Ryan Madson. Got a slider to go with it. Boy, one of the best before he hurt himself. 257 earned run average, and he's blown 3 saves. He's got 12 of them.
Sounded like he broke his bat off the end, and Crisp is in to make the catch for the out. Going to do it again tomorrow afternoon. You don't have to stay up so late with us tomorrow. Daniel Mengden, who will turn that mustache into a handlebar when he pitches tomorrow, matching up against Junior Guerra. And we're on the air at 2 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. Final game of the road trip. Brewers are 1-6, in danger of dropping to 1-7. Maldonado at the plate. Martin with a base hit. He's had a base running blunder tonight. Had a pass ball, which was costly, but one of those nights where Maldonado maybe just trying to push a little harder than he needed to. Happens.
Yeah, that's normally what happens when your team's not scoring a lot of runs. You try and do more than you should, and nothing really good happens when you try that.
Maldonado in a 1-2 count. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Was robbed of a hit in the 4th. And Madson thought he had a called strike 3. And down he goes. 2 outs in the 9th. And the Brewers down to their last out here. Don't forget, Brewers Live postgame coming up. Marnie Gellner, Davey Nelson tonight, burning the midnight oil.
Number 18, Ramon Flores.
Flores breaks his bat. Lowry will make the play, and that's it. The A's win it. Madson with the save, his 13th. A 5-3 Oakland win. They scored 3 runs in the 7th inning, and the Brewers let another late lead get away. And they go to 1-7 on this road trip. Time now for Brewers Live. Marnie Gellner standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. We'll be back with you during that from Oakland in just a moment. Right now, let's check in with Marnie. Take it away, Marnie.
Right here, this is the guy, right here.